Okay, yeah.
M3, you good? I unmuted. You good? You good? You good?
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Best. Yo, what's up, everyone?
What's up, everyone?
Hey, man, I wish I could. Yo, welcome to Knowledge and Relationships. We are here in Portland, Oregon, with Real the Gypsy, the homie right here. Okay. You know, I got my wife and her sister too in the background just watching us, but man, this actually feels like a
we got family around.
Yeah. It actually feels like a real ass like podcast, man. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna say like, you know, overboard like Fresh and Fit style, but I'll say maybe the beginning stages of like just pearly things, because her podcast like where you have like the little couch sentence, everybody sitting on the couch and just talking and asking a bunch of like, you know, random questions. But anyway, so like, you know, we're here and we're gonna be talking about our trips and, you know, promoting our channels as well too. First and foremost, shout out to Mr. Best in the world. He is moderating in the background. The man got a heart of gold, y'all. So give him a round of applause.
Thank you.
Give him a round of applause.
Thank you. I'm gonna take a quick pause for the pause real quick. We got to give a shout out to some of our people who are watching and tuning in. Man, thank you for watching and tuning in, man. We appreciate y'all for real. Salute to Great Pill Podcast. Great Pill, what's good? You know, he said he has a question. He said, "Is the weed legal there?" And Big Rig answered his question. He said, "Yes, the weed is legal there." Also, salute the Big Rigs as well. Salute to you, Big Rigs. Salute. You know what I'm saying? Bear with me as I get to your comment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you know what I mean? Also, salute to Frosty.
Yeah.
Frosty, what's going on?
To answer your question, yes, weed is very legal here. Thank goodness we have running dispensaries. And I just picked up Lemon Kush. This happens to be by Alta Gardens. Shout out Alta Gardens.
Okay.
And this is, an eighth of some fine indica. And so, go ahead and smell it. I know my brother doesn't really smoke weed, but you can tell that it's not some whack shit, right?
No, I agree.
Thank you. Thank you. So, anywho,
also, salute to Kimberly KMA. She says, "Good morning, everyone. Good morning, KMA. Good to see you." Also, shout out to Shangy Girl. Hey, Shangy Girl, what's going on? Salute.
Salute.
Salute. Like, you know, thank you everybody for tuning in as well to Knowledge and Relationships. Feel go around, right? It's all good.
I'm so sorry.
No, you good.
Yeah.
So we just make sure like the ladies don't bump into like, cause we had a downtime like our system. I don't have like a tripod for the Apple Pro, iPad Pro.
Technical stuff, logistics. Yeah. Hey, you know, we're not gonna bore you with the details, but we're here to talk some shit for sure. Okay. Yeah. So I hope y'all ready. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Rue the Gypsy, aka Ruby Doll, one half of Motherhood Sex Marijuana, and the sole member of my group, Rue the Gypsy. I am a awesome human being, and I'm so grateful to be here. Thank you for having me, and thank you for coming. Not only, hold up.
Oh, okay.
I'm not only gonna thank him, but I'm thanking his better half. The queen is in the building, and she's gonna be answering any questions that y'all have on wifey shit. Okay, so when we're talking about these relationships, my single ass is probably not the person you want to talk to about that. Wisdom and understanding, okay, because she obviously doing something right, okay. And then we have a special guest, very dear to my heart. She's kind of in witness protection, so you ain't gonna be able to see her face, but she's my sister, and she raised me, and she's in a dynamic where I already got her permission to bust her out. She's in a dynamic where she's been married for over, I would say, 27 years, and she and her husband separated, right? They separated and they started pursuing other love interests, right? And then life happens, and he had a disability which caused them to reunite and kind of like, hold up. They reunited before his disability. They reunited because it was a financial move, and they're still best friends and maintain that relationship. But then he had a disability in which she's now his full-time caregiver. So those are really interesting dynamics and real relationship shit, right? Right?
Yeah, of course.
Thank
you know?
you.
No, I
Hold on, Ruby doll. Hold on. Now I'm doing a hold on. You know what I'm saying?
She doing that white shit.
Oh, that's like the hold on.
Okay, so Ruby doll forgot one thing that she does. Ruby doll also is the host for the Intellectual Talent Show on our sister station, Intellectual SoapBox. So yes, she can tell you about that.
Yes.
Come on, give her a round of applause.
Hey, I'm just doing a lot of shit.
Woohoo!
Rubber glasses and all, baby. We here, we rocking.
Yeah. All right, so look, let's go ahead and get this started, right?
Okay.
So look, I want to tell you guys about my trip to Oregon, right?
Okay.
And why I'm here, right? And why, Miss Ruby blessed us, right, to stay over at her places, right? So shout out to you again, right, for that.
Much pleasure. You family. That's what family do.
Yeah. So it started with when we had our first live talk with her and Kai Storm.
Shout out to Kai Storm.
Mm-hmm.
The other half of Motherhood Sex Marijuana. My homegirls are here in spirit.
The Kai Storm.
And so Ruby was talking about, like she does music, you like to rap. And I think, Mr. Best, you kind of put in the plug, like, hey, M3, he does, rapping too. And yes, I did make, a Christian album at one point, so.
Oh, shit, you didn't tell me that?
You
didn't tell me that? None of y'all motherfuckers told me that.
I told y'all wasn't listening.
Oh, okay, my bad.
But, so, I was just saying more it was like a Christian conscious type of thing, right? So the album, the song was called Ready. And at that time, this was years ago, over 10 years ago. Okay. So since then, with that album, and I made a couple of singles, I haven't really got into the music game like that for maybe a good 7 years or so, or maybe a little bit less. Okay. Because I did do a collaboration with a guy named T. Grundy, and that was me driving out to LA. But since then, I haven't really done music since. Huh. And I just been busy with all that, and you kind of brought me back into the music grind over there.
He was like, if this old lady's gonna be doing this, then I can do it too. Okay, that's what he said now. You know what? You can be. I feel like we can get inspired by anything. It doesn't have to be something spectacular. It's just are you paying attention to what maybe the universe is telling you? So perhaps there was all these signs that she was supposed to do something, or we had a conversation about this earlier where I feel like it's time for me to do music now because I feel like it's time for me to share now. I don't think I had anything to share 5-10 years ago of any substance, really, to be real with you. So it could be that. And I feel like artists, or creatives don't need to put any limitations on themselves. If you have a certain age, I don't care. If you care, then you gotta think if that's insecurity or if you listening too much to societal noise, right? But I'm proud of you.
Hey, I'm proud of you too as well.
Thank you.
Like I said, she brought me out of my retirement. She was like, look, Kane, you could do this. I believe. She just kept on just saying it, right? And then it got to a point where I was like, you know what? Let me see if I can write something. Because sometimes when you get writer's block, that's the part where you kind of get insecure. Can I do it again? Can I write again? And I know you kind of made a bet who will be able to finish the lyrics first, and I should have took that. I should have took it, and probably raised it to 100. But anyway, it was good. She had me going. So I wrote my lyrics within that day, and then it took a couple of days to kind of rewrite stuff because when you write lyrics the first initial point it flows, but at the same time you want to make sure you're building that connection that's making sense. And so when you're just rewriting and just redoing and you listen to how you sound, you want to make sure you get things perfectly. Right. And I wanted to make sure that I found my voice because if you haven't done it for a while, you're not going to really know how you'll really sound until you actually go into the studio and then you hear yourself again.
Yeah,
gotta take a quick pause for the pause, y'all. Got to give a shout out to our Twitch supporter, Vashanovi. Salute, Vashanovi. You know what I mean? They say hi. Hey.
Hey, salute you guys. Like, thank you for tuning in from Twitch Gang side. So loving it. Yeah. So that's how it was going until like, you know, when we finally like, produced something on the track, and that's when it was like, okay, man, I could continue doing it. There's another thing too. I gotta give a major shout out to DJ Eddie King. Okay,
shout out on that beat, yo.
So DJ Eddie King made the beat, and then like finally I got a hold of DJ Eddie King, right? And he's working on trying to develop like more tracks. So DJ Eddie King, you know, I don't know if you're watching this, but if you are, if you're not busy, I just want to say salutes to you, man. I love you, bro.
Thank you.
Same thing, man. Like, you know, I love my team, Mr. Best, DJ Eddie King. Hey, First Lady Tammy, much love to you as well if you're watching this. So I'm just saying, and all the people who's really real and supporting us, right? The ride and die folks, I love you guys as well too, though.
Thank you.
We're gonna be producing.
Hold on, we can't forget about the rest of the team, man. B-Eazy Dat Dude, you know what I mean? Big Rich Slap.
I'm not even finished. Like B-Eazy, you know, Big Rich Slaps, you know what I mean? Like, shout outs to like, OG Patrice, like Lola, all the other folks, man, like that comes from.
Yeah, shout out to OG Patrice.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like, man, we got a big army, bro. So yes, KMA as well. Yo, Kimberly,
yes.
Like, you are like the biggest night rider. I'm telling you.
I love you, Kimberly, and I didn't admit you yet. I heard about you though. So we gotta work.
So shout outs to the South African queen like that's out there. If you still watching, much love,
yes,
KMA, right? Yeah. So
definitely. And gang, we got a question already. Wow, okay. All right.
A question?
So Vashanavi says, "Can I ask a question, please?" And yes, of course you can. They said, "What was the hardest life lesson to learn? What was the hardest life lesson?" Okay, they put it twice. Okay, what was the hardest life lesson to learn? That is Vashanavi's question from Twitter.
Okay, what was the hardest lesson to learn? I feel like the hardest lesson is that like when you give up on yourself and you don't give yourself a shot, that will be like the hardest lesson, because then when you look back, you're like, dang, I could have did more. You know what I mean? I could have produced more.
Do you mean generally, or in this specific case of creating a project?
No, it said what was the hardest life lesson to learn? I guess just when dealing with like life lessons.
Okay. So you're already answering it for you, and then I'll answer it.
Yeah. I was just thinking he's speaking in general anyway, so yeah.
Okay.
Because so far, I can't think of any hard lessons like during my trip to Oregon. So yeah.
I think one thing I learned pretty recently, meaning within the last 7 months, is that it's okay not to be liked. We were at church together on Sunday. Long story short, right? And the pastor talked about this a little bit. Excuse me for those that just are non-denominational or anything like that. It was he just, like I said, you can draw inspiration from anywhere. So one of the things that he said was everybody always trying to be liked. I used to want to be liked too, especially from people that I found attractive, right? But the thing is like somebody liking you has nothing to do with you in a sense, because that they have to like, you know what I'm saying? And if they don't like you, then that's none of your business anyway. You feel me? So it's like, it was a hard lesson because it's encompassing of other factors, where that means you gotta love that. I gotta love me. You know what I'm saying? I gotta like me. You feel me?
Right.
So I hope that answers your question. That's probably what comes out to mind, Miss V,
or Miss or
Mr. Excuse me, or V.
Hey, we gotta get the pronouns right.
I know, right? Okay, can we talk about pronouns for a minute? No, I'm gonna stop.
I mean, feel free to
I'm just gonna leave it as my pronouns are she and they, or she and her right now.
Okay. I dig it. He, she, whatever.
It's the reason why I reacted like that. Like, can we talk about it? Is because it was a fresh conversation with one of my like managers from work. Okay? So long story short, I'm a queer woman. In society standards, you would label me as queer or bisexual. However, okay, this lingo of pronouns is really new for all of us. And so let's say M3 wanted to be addressed as they. Okay, that's fine. Mm-hmm. But let's say M3 gets upset because I call him a him and he goes by they.
Look, you already called me him, all right?
Well, you know, I didn't know that though. So why would you thank somebody for not knowing that? You know what I'm saying? Like, let's say you told somebody, okay, maybe you told me, hey, refer to me as they, and I just keep going, he. Okay, then now you got a problem because this motherfucker isn't listening to you. But don't assume that we are supposed to know anything, okay? And that's coming from a very open-minded woman. So that's all I got to say about that.
No, I definitely respect that. I mean, like, you know, if you don't know, that's going to be a common mistake because of, you know, our upbringing, what we was once taught to how to identify somebody or how to address it. But, you know, I mean, things has changed. So it's like, you know, if you're cognitively aware, then you may want to ask. But then sometimes a lot of people get offended even if you have to ask them. So you just got to go on with the flow.
And that again irritates me because it's like, hello, I'm trying to learn, okay? So how am I going to learn and how are you going to educate people if this is really that important to you when you are pretty much shaming them for just not knowing, okay? It just don't make sense to me.
But you know, I always had a slip up like earlier today. Like we was at a grocery store. Shout out to Fred Meyer's grocery stores. You know,
Freddie Myers.
Well, it's just a superstore because like you can get jewelry, like electronics. So yeah, it's just like Walmart.
They bougie as hell, so they're looking for stuff like that over here. I just go for groceries.
Look, Oregon is tax free. Okay, so look. Go crazy on your electronics because when you go back to California, you're gonna have to pay that sales tax. Okay?
True.
Yeah, that sales tax in California ain't no joke.
Yeah,
it ain't no joke in California. That sales tax.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna say like it was a person, right? You know, because I'm not trying to, you know, mess with the pronouns, but it was a person that you could tell that has, you know, the manliest voice, but the person addresses well. According to the tag or whatever, it had a feminine tag, like Ashley or something. You know what I mean? I mean, I guess you could name a guy Ashley.
That's actually a unisex name.
Yeah.
You know, okay.
Yeah. And you know, Ashley was there with that person was so sweet. You know what I mean? Like it was so sweet. I was like, thank you, but sir almost came out of my mouth because I'm used when I'm hearing that tone of a man, like naturally. I'm like, hey, thank you, sir, or thank you, ma'am. You know what I mean? But good thing, like, it didn't come fully out of my mouth. And I was like, oh, shoot. Like, you know, I was like a little bit embarrassed or whatever, right? Because imagine me saying, like, thank you, sir. But then you're like, you know, like, how dare you, right?
So you call yourself before you using the pronoun because you just weren't sure and you were trying to be political. See all that stress? Like,
well,
you know what I'm saying?
I wasn't even thinking, like, you know, I'm thinking, like, use my mirrors. Yeah. So at least thank you came out without, you know, adding in that, you know, the unnecessary pronoun. So I'm glad we're having this conversation so we kind of get down here.
Well, it's relevant to our climate today. And so I want to get into some relationship shit. Unless y'all got any other questions about Portland or our sales tax. We can all go there.
I just want to say real quick, Ruby Doll, you are a superstar. You know what I'm saying? And you are incredible. Thank you so much. Okay, so we got another question. Okay.
Really? Okay.
How do you show love for each other? I mean, I found it difficult to show love, even if I love them deeply, but it's difficult for me to show love. Wow, okay. And Vashanavi is a 19-year-old female.
Vashanavi, thank you. I think we're going to include our queens on this question. So how do you show love is the question to that person that you adore? Is that what I'm getting?
How do you show love for each other? I mean, I find it difficult to show love, even if I love them deeply, but it's just difficult. It's difficult for me to show love.
I think you said more like a friendship type question, but we could like include like, you know.
I'll speak on it.
Oh, okay, go ahead, sis.
I think it all depends on how you harness love. how your self-love is, like basically, self-love. If you love yourself a certain way, you're a good caretaker of that love. So you'll want to share that love. So if you harness that love, nurture it correctly, you'll want to share it. So it sounds like maybe you're shy, or there's a lot of barriers or other things that you have to break, but it all starts with yourself, how you love yourself. You can't love someone else if you cannot love yourself. Like I can't show someone something I can't feel myself. So you've really got to feel that love within your own heart. Love who you are. Yeah. Love your heart. Love your body. Everything about you. So if you harness that beautifully, you'll want to share that. You'll want to give it out. It's meant to be. Light is meant to be shared. So,
and thus you're showing people how to properly love you. You know what I mean? You're not going to be talked to any other way.
What about you, Mrs. MT? Like, what's your thoughts?
Well, I think that in showing love, that it requires a bit of a vulnerability, because you have to be willing to be hurt in showing love. Yeah. I think a lot of the time, like we talk about it, I think even on your stream, we've talked about knowledge and relationships, how relationships aren't always 50-50. And sometimes you're looking for that 50% when you're giving 100, or you're looking for 100% when you're giving 80. And it's not always gonna be like that. Yeah, but sometimes there's your weaknesses help the other person because they're able to shine and they're showing their strength.
Thank you, Jack.
Can I add to that? Fair does not mean equal.
Exactly.
Fair does not mean equal. Fair just means fair. If it's like easier for me to handle something emotionally and my man can't do it, it's maybe unfair to other people's eyes. It's fair for me to do it because I can handle it. You know?
And you're happy to.
And I'm happy to. But there's other, fair does not mean equal. You can say 50-50, whatever it is, it balances out when you can carry each other, when you can carry your own, each other carries their own. You come together, it's just this teetering of, this ebb and flow of things. It's not a direct 50-50.
You gotta find your balance.
You gotta find your balance.
It's not 50-50 sometimes, but your balance.
I think people need to get out of that mind frame. It's not it's not a 50-50 thing. Life isn't a linear,
But it is fair.
May I answer if I can? Because I wouldn't say much.
I'll give you guys my spiel.
I think the thing is that my thing is this: just okay. If I'm showing you love and respect, show me love and respect, right? Christ said in the Bible, those who are my family are those who love and respect me, and those who honor me. That's my family. If you're not loving and respecting me and you're not honoring me, then there's no reason for us to even have anything together. I'm talking about any relationship, romantic, family, anything. Yes. Like those who love you and support you, they're loyal to you. You know what I'm saying? And they're not going to want to see you hurt. They're not going to see you in pain. They're not going to see you in anguish and nothing like that. You know what I mean? And if they see you like that, if they see you destitute or anything like that, they're going to make sure that they take care of you. Not only that, for those who really want to have that close bond with you, right? Loving somebody means that you got to love them even in like the worst conditions, right? Because like sometimes they're going to do things that you don't agree with, right? Because remember, they're a different person. They're not you. And even in your family, right? Now, Ruby, though, I know you and your sister, like, y'all may not get along on everything. So some things sometimes y'all may not see eye to eye on, right? Just like me and my siblings, sometimes we don't see eye to eye, right? Because we two different people. So let alone if you have those differences in your family and y'all related, can you imagine somebody you're not related to? Like it's gonna be definitely hard. You know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna be hard for you to have that because it's gonna be hard for you to have that because you know what I mean. You are two different people, come from two different experiences, and now you're joining to become a unit. You know what I'm saying? Even in friendships, like me and him we brothers. So, but he has a different experience. I have a different experience, and in our experiences, we have to basically be considerate of that, right? You know what I'm saying? We had different childhoods, different teenagers, and different adulthoods. So when we come together, we have to be considerate of that, right? And that's how relationships last. You got to be considerate. You got to have empathy and sympathy for each other, and you got to give each other that grace, because a part of love is grace as well. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you can't just love somebody when things are good, because there's gonna be a time when things get rocky. You know what I mean? And you got to be able to, weather the storm. Can you stand the rain? You feel me?
That's right, just like that
New
song.
edition.
Boom.
Can
Beautiful insight. I love this shit. And so, I think like as a person who chooses not to be in a relationship right now, besides the one with myself, I think that it's no different from us. Like for me, I want to be attracted to myself, so I want to do things that I like. You know what I mean? Like I always wanted a chick that could rap. I always wanted a chick that was as freaky as I am. You know what I'm saying? And so, but I always, like when it comes to weaknesses, I think we mentioned that earlier. When it comes to things that I'm not that great at, it's like, oh, that's my team. You know what I'm saying? I can find that. And I don't feel like I'm looking for anything. Like, for example, I feel like anybody could be in a relationship they wanted to. It's not, but do you want to stay in it? You're going to have to do some of the advice that these kind of people are telling you to do. But again, even as a person who is by, having a relationship with yourself, you still have to keep those things in mind, right? Am I being kind to myself? Is my thinking good? Is my thinking building me up? And because I feel like that's just the most important relationship.
Yeah.
Even with your kids, like even before my kids or before my mother or my sister, I have to have a relationship with Rue.
Yeah, and even in me saying that, love, like somebody has to love and honor you, understand their definition of love and loyalty may be different than yours, right? Doesn't make them a bad person. It don't make them a bad person. It's just that they have different standards, morals, and different things. Now, if you feel like they being completely out there and they're not really showing you that love just on a, like, I guess, common sense basis, right? I know common sense ain't common, but on a common sense basis, then yeah, definitely hold them to task and call them out on it, or socialize with them and have a conversation with them where y'all can come to an agreement, or y'all can part ways or whatever you do. You know what I mean? But that can definitely be talked about and definitely be worked out. And we have another comment from somebody else. The movement one: in relationships and love, one size does not fit all. Yes, definitely. Definitely the movement one. Definitely. Shout out to you.
Shout out to you. What is the movement one? Yeah, shout out to you. Like, thank you, man. Look, man, we got people from the Twitch gang give us some good support, asking questions, making some good comments. Shout out to you guys, man. Look, if I had to sound this, I'd be like, burn on y'all, But
hey.
But yeah, I'm gonna just give you my little quick spiel. Like, relationships is definitely not 50-50, because there's certain levels where there's, like, let's say the wife is good at something that the husband's not good at, right? And everything's subjective, because everyone has a good quality and they have like a quality that they lack in. But see, when you have somebody that can kind of fulfill that quality that you lack in, then it kind of makes you guys 100% together.
Well-oiled machine.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Because it's gonna need those different components. We need another question, because this is going on and on, yo. Who got a question, or am I gonna have to ask one right now?
Hey, feel free to ask one.
Okay, I have a question for you married situations, right? This is for the three of you.
Oh,
okay.
So think of your worst day, right? The worst day that you've ever had married to this person, right? Is it worse than your best day?
No. The worst day, is the worst day better than the best day?
That was a fucked up question. My bad. Okay, think about your worst. Let me rephrase that. Think about your worst situation. No, like your worst day with your partner that you're currently with right now, right?
Versus the worst single.
Right. How much more are you able to work at it to never get to that point again?
So basically, it's like, like, what steps are you willing to take so then you don't go through maybe any traumatic experience, any negative experiences, like, you know.
I can speak to that.
Mhm.
Like the worst situation once you're a married couple is to forget your friendship. Because when you forget your friendship, you forget how to forgive each other. And when you forget how to forgive each other, you're always in a constant battle because you see that person as your enemy, your nemesis.
Oh, any
Your
clarification?
volatile-
Because I'm confused at the moment. Did you say you need to forget your friendship?
No.
The
Okay.
worst day in a marriage,
Okay.
like you're married to this person, to
Okay.
forget your friendship. If you forget that you're friends, you're gonna have a miserable marriage.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Absolutely, that's good. Yeah.
Not go away the friendship, but never forget.
Never forget your friendship.
Because it's
very
always,
nice.
it's always a battle after that. You're
Okay.
everything that comes out of their mouth is just, you're gonna think of it as negative, even when they're not trying to be negative. You're gonna assume that what they're saying to you is against you because you're not friends no more. And when you begin to couples, when I talk to couples that have been together 50-something years, what their advice, how do you stay married this long? How do you always have fun together? That's the very first thing that they say. And the other ones, to keep your mind sharp, never stop working. Like, you don't have to be a workhorse, but even if you're volunteering somewhere, when you retire, just sit. Because human beings, in order to be happy, we need to be productive. We need to
Have
feel
purpose.
like we have a purpose.
Mhm.
And that's the same thing with a friendship. If it's stagnant, like you're just like, this person is not my friend no more, you're no longer productive together. You don't dream together no more.
Okay.
You have to be able to do those things in order to keep it creative and it's a friendship.
Okay.
It's not just your roommate,
All right. I have a question for my sister. Do you think the threesome situation that you experienced helped or didn't help your relationship? Because this is why I asked my sister, right? I had a threesome before and I don't think it helped my relationship at all. Okay? But it could be different for other people. Okay, I'm trying to come out with some real good questions. Okay,
I wanna answer.
Thank you.
The threesome, was it one night or was it
It was a one night.
It used to be a one night, but
That's all you need, one night. What the hell I need you for the next night? Sorry. But I want to say, first of all, like, I totally agree with you. Friendship is foundational. Like,
Yeah.
in my marriage, with our ups and downs, I've always told my husband the last thing I want to lose is my friend. I can lose my lover, I can lose my husband, but my friend I cannot lose. Friendship puts you in it's such a sacred relationship. You have to start off as friends, because friends are like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just a different space when you're a friend. You don't look at that person like, you just want well for that person.
Yeah.
Like, as a lover, I could be jealous, or as a wife, I could be this, but as a friend, you know what I mean? As a friend, I want well for you. There's an understanding, you know what I mean? I don't want anything, but well, you know what I mean? Even if we weren't together. So I agree, with the friend thing, but with your question, like, because I believe life is a win-win. So to say, like, is it worse? Like, no, because you always get something out of it. You got the wisdom out of it. You got the, I'll never do that shit again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, you did it. You know what I mean? Like, life is always a win-win. You win some and then you learn some,
Okay. Because we had a really intense conversation last night with regards to monogamy and monogamish and not polygamous, but polyamorous. You know what I mean?
Shout out to Miss Paul.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to Miss Polly. I would love to get your mother to sex marijuana. What's up with it, girl? So it's like we have. See, I think one thing that people get fucked up, and that's why I kind of like threw the wrench in there with the threesome thing, was that people talk about people put themselves in monogamish situations, and they try to think about, or they try to entertain polyamorous shit when they're not really ready for that. You feel me? Am I making sense? Because I used to do that. I used to do that a lot.
It's like you kind of get
We
into, like,
we have a comment, guys. We have a few comments.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Great Pill podcast. Salute to Great Pill. He says, "Oh my." Okay, Great Pill. Oh my, back to you. Salute to Great Pill. Definitely like and subscribe to Great Pill too on YouTube. He's an awesome content creator. Also, the movement one says, I've been in what I call an accidental polygamous relationship for over a decade. It worked out
See,
great.
I
It's
like
better
that.
than any.
That's what I'm
It's
saying,
better.
Julio.
It's
We
better.
worked
It's
it
better
out.
than any monogamous. It's better than any monogamous relationship I've ever been in. It doesn't mean everyone should be poly, but it can work. And Gray Pill has a question. He says, so she lied about the threesome.
Wait, who lied about a threesome?
Who? Me?
Oh.
Gray Pill, you got to clarify your question, brother.
Are you talking about your girl or are you talking about somebody over here? Well, you're talking bad.
In the chat or what?
Wait. Can we do a mini recap of the topic, please?
Yeah, you explained it well yesterday, Rue. So they need to hear what you said yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay.
They weren't in the room with us yesterday.
Well, you guys were in the room with us yesterday. That's besides the point. But right now, I'm telling y'all this. I feel like people in today's age, including myself very recently, would put myself in monogamous ass relationships with polyamorous thoughts. And the two and I was trying to make sense of this situation with this frame of mind. Do y'all get me? Or do I need to say it again?
No, you good. You good, family. I think the thing is that I think the thing is that this, like, okay, no matter if you're in a poly relationship or a monogamous relationship, like the one thing that has to be there is if we're in a relationship, right? Whether we are to whether it's just us two or it's a group of us, like you can't put anybody above that relationship, right? So if we in a relationship and it's two of us or it's three of us or how many of it is, you can't have no outside source now come in and now you're giving them as much as attention as you're giving the relationship. Like you're not giving me that love and respect. And I think that's the thing that people really get irritated by because hold on. We know that people are attracted to other people. We ourselves are attracted to other people. Like we keeping it completely real. Like you're not just attracted to your partner. You see somebody and they look good and they look the way you like them to look, you're gonna be attracted. Like that's just what it is. Like so we're human beings. Like just because you're in a relationship doesn't mean that like all of a sudden the things that attracted you to the opposite sex or the same sex just goes away. Like, oh, okay, well, I'm just gonna be focused on this one person forever, and I'm never gonna find anybody else attractive. That's a lie. Now, what you do with that attraction is your own doing, right? That's your own your own actions. Just because you're attracted, it doesn't mean that you have to now sleep with that person. You know what I mean? Because once you bond with that person physically, they're there for you for life. You know what I'm saying? Like that that physical bond, that intimacy, that don't go away. That be there. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Okay. No, and I love that insight. My thing was, I think I was confusing myself for the longest time. And so if anyone's listening to this podcast that may be going through a situation where you're transferring from one dynamic to whether it's poly to mono to whatever, the thing is actually communication. And I have to disagree with Mr. Best because this is the thing, right? I've been in a couple of polyamorous relationships where it was either solo poly, where I was with a bunch of people and they was doing their own thing, but I wasn't interacting with their partners, or it was like, okay, we're all we have a common denominator and we're all getting to know each other and trying to make it work with each other. Okay. So this is why I don't think that everyone has to be on equal planes. It's more like, just like my sis said, fair doesn't mean equal. I don't need a motherfucker doing certain things that other women might need, okay? Mm-hmm. Let me be specific. If you want your guy to make you coffee every morning at 6:30 a.m., then you need to get that going, okay? I don't need that. And so if I'm fucking with somebody, go make that other bitch her 6:30 coffee. You feel me? Dude, do the whole shebang. I want whoever I'm in a relationship with. It's like we're communicating. I want these specific things, and I need these specific things. Otherwise, this contract is null and void. Okay. Now, I did a lot of cheating before I came to this conclusion, but I can't cheat anymore because that just means I'm a fraud. So anyone really who fucks with me has to know how I get down because I have respect for myself now. I don't want to run into problems later. Now, it doesn't mean that we're not going to get jealous. I'm sure people just get, it doesn't matter. Even if you're a relationship, even if the guy's not your boyfriend, you're going to get jealous if he's like not giving you attention, whatever. Human shit, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like, don't focus on jealousy. Just focus on like the things that make you so amazing. If you want to consider a poly relationship, you got to make sure you know yourself. Okay? You don't have to fuck everybody else. You know yourself first. And then you know what you want from each encounter. Because I could go to have a boyfriend that I just go to the movies with, and then have one that I sleep with, and that's just what we do with each other.
But what if it's somebody that you actually? I just got one question, and then I'm gonna get to all these questions. That Gray Pill guy, he got quite a few. Gray Pill, we're gonna get to your question. So my question is, okay, so I hear what you're saying, but my only question is, if you're in love with somebody and they're in love with you, or you're in love with the three of them or the four of them or whatever, and y'all have a bond, right? But there's an outside person in that, and now if you and that person love, or you and y'all are in love, right? And now they gonna entertain said outside person, right? Doesn't that kind of break the bond, or do you feel like they still allure you?
Well, hold up. Are your needs getting met?
I like that you said that. I like that you said that, Ruby Doll, because here's the thing. Because sometimes what I see, and I see this more with women than men. I'm not coming at women. Please, women, don't get mad at me. I see more with women than men, that a man could be meeting all the needs, right? But just because he knocked something down yesterday, you know what I mean? He just knocked the chick down yesterday. That's just a fly by night. Like, he ain't got no interest in her. He not paying none of her bills. He not doing nothing for her. He just want to knock her down. He knocked her down. He kept it moving, right? But he's taking care of everything at home. I feel like most women are not okay with that.
Well, you know what? I'm going to tell you something that people don't say, and this is somebody who empowers women. Women are hypocrites, okay? Women can be.
Oh shit!
No! Hear me out. We can be. I'm including myself, because this is before Rue came to the realization of what it is in my life. So I could be the biggest biggest hypocrite, because I was married to a man, and I knew he was attracted to other women, and I was attracted to other women too. But I wanted like my cake and eat it too. Like, I wanted to control everything. Like, oh, okay, we're gonna talk to that girl, but I'm gonna get her number. Oh, we're gonna go do that girl, but you can't kiss her. Fuck that shit. If you're doing that, you ain't ready for this life, baby girl. And you go marry somebody, you just stay faithful to that motherfucker, okay? And then don't tell me that they're not doing the most at these girls' nights, these girls where y'all motherfuckers aren't invited, because I be there, okay? So women could be the biggest fucking hypocrites, and we fuck too. We fuck good, okay? Sorry, this might be a little too much for these ladies over here.
Okay, in three, we're gonna clip. We're gonna clip that. That was at 43 minutes. Okay, so you're gonna clip that whenever you get a chance, because that needs to be said. Because I think that's a narrative. That's a narrative that women be trying to hide. They really be trying to hide, like they don't be doing nothing, and that the man is the only one.
Not all women, but generally they do. The ones that are complaining, they're the same ones that do it. That's that. If I could just talk about that.
No, and that's real. Like, look. As a man, that's gonna just keep it like 100% G, right? And I'm gonna get to your questions too, though, right? You know, like, you do got a couple of like fucking hypocrites, right? And that's what confuses in certain type of relationships. I'm not saying that women alone confuse the relationships, but when there's communication that's selfish, okay. When there's a lack of communication because you're trying to get your cake and ice cream, you try to eat it all at once, and then you try to manipulate it. You know what I mean?
And then use the coochie, keep the coochie away, because you're like, oh, he doesn't love her. I'm not. Well, then he's gonna go fuck another. Do the math. And no one's coochie's that good. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm saying. So, love my women's, but we need to keep it real, women. We need to keep it real, okay? We need to stop. Because I used to do this. I gotta bring this up too, though, right? There's no hiding on these podcasts.
Hold on, M3. Hold on. M3 and Ruby, hold on. We gotta give a shout out to some of the people who just checked in. Salute to On the Spot Live. What's going on the Spot Live? Hey, sister. She said evening. What's going on? Salute to Knowledge and Relationships own OG Patrice. She says greetings, salutations, family. What's good, OG? Also, salute. Oh my gosh.
Lady Phoenix,
I love
hey,
this woman so much. You know what I mean? She has supported me. She has been there for me. Um, she is an incredible, credible woman, and she always has shown me the most love and respect. Man, her connection with the late great QB was incredible, and her connection with me is incredible. Shout out to Lady Phoenix. I really appreciate all the love that you have given me, Lady Phoenix. Like,
What's up,
thank you for being there for me.
Saludos, like she been like, man, she's like our day one, man, ride and die. So saludos to like Lady Phoenix. Also as well too. If you guys are now tuning in, I am in Portland, Oregon right now with Rue the Gypsy. Okay, so shout out again to like Rue the Gypsy for opening her place like to us, like to me and my wife. And right now, man, we're just having this life. So it's a little different than the usual panels, but I'm actually loving this.
GP, hold on, three. GP, if you want to come up, I can send you the link if you want to come up. Okay, and you can ask whatever questions you like, brother. Okay, so so if you want to come up, just give me a 1 in the chat if you want to come up, and I'll send you the link.
Actually, Mr. Best, like actually don't send a live into like the public, right? Because we already know what
No,
happened.
I'm a DM him. I'm a DM him. So anybody that wants to be DM, please put 1 in the chat, and I will send you the link through Instagram. Okay, you know what I'm saying, and I'll definitely trip, or through text message, whichever one you prefer. So yeah, or through email. But let's get the Great Pill's question because he has a lot of them. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he says, how long was she in a poly relationship?
2 years.
2 years. Okay.
2 years in one, 7 months ish the other.
Okay.
So I'm not a guru about this stuff. I'm just being completely dead ass honest. And if anyone needs to refute that, tell me why I'm lying. That's all I gotta say about that. It's not even to diss my women's because I fucking love my women's. You know what I mean? I prefer female energy. I love all the things that make us goddesses. But what I will not do is support hypocrisy.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He also asked too, like, if more than one, what was the reason of the breakup? So basically, what ended the poly?
Different things. I couldn't tell you exactly why, but I'm sure I like fucked up somewhere too. Like it's not just them. Like I'm a little bit, I'm a little wild sometimes. So I probably hurt some feelings, or they hurt my feelings, and we just decided to quit. It's not like I don't want to be poly anymore because that's for me. Monogamy is unnatural. It's a construct of society. It's a, you know what I'm saying? But I respect it. And if you have a union and you have a celebrated one that you nourish, I respect that. This is just my general thinking.
Now, I know you have an upbringing where it's like for you and your sister, that family is like everything.
And three, hold on before you move on. Cause I know you want to move on to what you got to say. I just want to get through these comments real quick. The movement one said, it's honestly simple. I feel like people overthink relationship. It's not rocket science. Trust, communication, time, understanding, cooperation, and a big one, prioritization of what really matters to each other. Gray Pill has another question. He said, so Gray Pill asks you, since when you stopped cheating? Since when did you stop cheating? Yeah.
Since when did I stop cheating? Every monogamous relationship, I stopped cheating once I stopped being in a polyamorous relationship. Every monogamous relationship I had, I cheated on them because I was never meant to be monogamous.
But at the time, you was kind of like living up to the American norms of society.
Yeah, that's the norm. My family members, not just parents, but like aunts and uncles, everyone's like married up, like no one cheats, and if you cheat, you move out, or you take your kids, and you know what I'm saying? That whole culture. Let's be real, we know what it is. The separation of families. I believe in village. My peoples belong to a village. We never ever like, and I believe that Matais and the kings and stuff that ruled Polynesia and the Pacifica, they had multiple spouses. And I think that it just depends on what you can be honest with yourself, you know what I'm saying, with.
Yeah. Now, of course, you know, my wife and I, like, you know, we're married, and, you know, of course, we're in
y'all doing it right. They doing it right. Like, if you don't do it like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously.
But I look at it like this, though. But me and Bess, we do have our talks. Like, we're like, look, man, like, you know, sometimes, and I'm not trying to get all, like, you know, Bible thumping or whatever, but when you read certain scriptures, like, they didn't have, like, you know, monogamous lives. Some did by their own choice, though, but others, right, had multiple, like, you know, women or maybe multiple dudes or whatever. And it was okay. It was acceptable for some, you know. I'm not going to say for all, but
well, there's also a reason for that, too. There's not just because people want to sleep with each other either. Sometimes it's economical. It's like merging of companies. You feel me?
Yeah. But this goes like to like what I was going to say about like as far as with big families, because you know, in my mind, like, you know, if you actually cherish like big families or you cherish like, you know, just building, then maybe the polygamous lifestyle or the polyamorous lifestyle is meant for you, because like you're expanding the family circle. It's just not like just you isolated with one person, but now you have other people that's on the same wavelength. You know what I mean? And it don't have to be just like, you know, financial or economical. I mean, it's a plus, you know what I mean? But I think the biggest bonus is that like you're able to freely express your love without any bounds.
That's definitely a factor, and that's the thing. It's called big love for a reason. You know what I mean? And it's not meant for everybody. Is there another question we can get into?
Well, Ruby Doll, I think you know, I agree with you saying about it being a social construct, because if you are a person that's indigenous, whether you're Hawaiian, whether you're African, no matter where you land on the spectrum, right? If you are a person who is indigenous or a person of color, right, and you are affected by colonization, which we all are, right? You know what I mean? Our languages were stolen, our customs were stolen. You know what I mean? Our way of clothing,
our virginities,
yeah, our way of clothing and religion was stolen. You know what I mean? And the things that we could recover, we tried, and we still are trying to hold on to today. So I think because of that, the way we do relationships, we never the people who are not from this land or people who are indigenous, we never decided how we wanted to do relationships. We were always told how to do relationships. We was told how to do family. You know what I'm saying? We was told how to dress, where to work, what to do, what to eat, where to be, right? We're told all these things, right? And then they call it the American way. They call it being constitutional. They call it all these things, but really it's just colonization and oppression. You know what I'm saying? Now it may fit. Some of these things may fit, or we may feel comfortable in them because we're just so used to it. But it's not a natural state. You know what I mean? The Love Movement one has one more comment. Says female polygamy, aka polyandry, is extremely rare in both humans and most animals. Wow. It exists, but it is extremely rare. Polygamy is very common, and biologically it makes sense. Okay.
Thank you for for sharing that. Yes, there is such a thing called polyandry, and it exists in some rural places, particularly in China or Tibet, where women would take on their husband's brothers, you know, in some cases. And again, like, I don't necessarily want like a gang of husbands just to have them. You know what I'm saying? It's not like that for me. I like women. I'm attracted to women. I'm attracted to men. So obviously, if I'm with one or the other, I feel like I'm going to be missing out on something. That's just me. So I have to be honest with myself and therefore place myself in positions where I can enjoy that with other like-minded adults. But I totally, and for real, whoever's in a monogamous relationship has different viewpoints. I just respect their viewpoints. They're just not mine.
Yeah. Okay. Do we have any other topics?
I think he had more questions though.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, no, we out of questions. We out of questions. Gray Pill had a bunch of questions. He said he has some questions when we get offline. So okay, if he wants to wait till offline, I mean, listen, everybody's an open book here, bro. So you can ask us whatever. You know what I mean? We're not dodging no questions. Um,
Mhm.
I think my biggest question is, what I'm saying? And before I get to my question, salute to the Brody Daryl Long. What's good, baby? Daryl Long is doing multiple things right now. I see you on my big screen too, Daryl Long. I see you, dog. He doing multiple things as usual. You know what I'm saying? I see him shaking his head. What up, D? You know what I mean? He's chilling in the cut though. But yeah, salute to the Brody, man. But with that being said, I think so my question is, what is everybody's concept of family? Right? Y'all was getting into that about the family thing. M3 was asking about that. So M3, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, okay. I mean, the concept of family, it depends on like family values. So my concept of family, right, is basically family that actually stands strong together, doing stuff together. Now, for some, right, we may not have like families that is, so connected where or so easily accessible to like where if you need that family member's gonna be there for you. But however, the other flip side is that like you have a choice to choose who's your family. Like we don't have to be blood related, like you know what I mean? Like you're Simone, I'm black or whatever, right? I ain't gotta be like, oh, okay, you're not black like me, you're not my family, or we don't have the same bloodline. To me, I look at like, we're all created like, as like God's children. So you know what I mean? But when you have like that spiritual type of connection, because I feel like everything is spiritual as far as the connections. If you're spiritually connected, those are people who I would consider as family. If you've been there to my life like more times than someone that's like, related by blood, and I can count you more times than them, you're more of my family than the people who are actually related to me. So, but I understand too, our parents or grandparents would be like, well, blood is thicker than water, and no matter how this person hates you, that still is their family, and you need to love them no matter what or respect them. But how can I actually deliver that type of love when I'm not even getting that type of energy back? So you gotta be connected. That's how like I look at it as far as like with family values and being strong together. So.
Yeah, being related to somebody versus them being your actual family.
Yeah.
So, all right. Do you ladies have any questions for everybody over there, not just us?
No, I agree. Family means bond. Whoever you bond with, and that's, you don't always bond with your own family. So
True.
Yeah.
Anytime someone asks like about family, I think of the fact that most married couples, unless it's arranged marriage, unless it's cultural something, you're not blood relative to your spouse.
Right.
But they're the
Good
closest. They're the closest to you.
Family member,
And if anything happened to you, your spouse has more say so over what happens in the household than your own parents.
Right.
Yeah.
So when people say, oh, your family is your family, your friends are family too. And the closest relationship I can think of, you said vows with someone that was your friend first, and now they're your spouse, and your connection with each other is closer than anybody on earth. Like during sex, you're one body. That's the closest anybody can get.
I hear you. That's beautiful. And you know what? Shout out to Teal Swan. My sister put me onto her. Teal Swan will teach you some shit for sure. I look at her as a spiritual guru, but she shared that we as humans are here to have intimate relationships. This has nothing to do with sex. It's intimate, whether it's your child or your neighbor, your coworker. We are to have intimate, and I think this also harps on that question that somebody asked way in the beginning. I think it was B, where she was like, hey, how do you show love if you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. We are to show love because that's intimate. The vulnerability helps you know, in that regard. And those are the requirements to really get close to people. So we as humans, we need people. You can't say that you don't need nobody. Like that's not a thing.
We're built for connection.
Correct.
Yeah, but most women say they don't need a man, so.
If you break the word, it's
Oh shit. Here we go. I'm gonna say this though, right? Like, I think for me, like, and maybe it's just my line of thinking. Like, even though, like, I feel a lot of things about, like, you know, my woman and the woman I'm with or whatever, but I still feel like, I don't know, like I'm kind of on the fence between, like, what's more important, like your family or spouse, because, like, on one hand, yes, your spouse is connected with you in ways that your family isn't, but I could always get another spouse. I ain't gonna never see my grandfather ever again. He been gone since '06. I ain't gonna never hear his voice. I ain't gonna never feel his presence. You know what I mean? I'm never gonna get his wisdom and love because he ain't here no more. But if something happened to my woman, I can just get another woman. I'm gonna grieve. I'm gonna be sad, but I can start over again in a relationship. You know what I mean? If something happened to, like, some of my family, like my aunt that passed away like 3 years ago, yo, man, that's one of the reasons why I don't want to go back home, because she ain't there no more. Because I ain't gonna never get to see her again. You know what I'm saying? So it's I don't know, man. I'm on the fence about that. Because when it comes to close family, like once they gone, like you ain't gonna never get that back again. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's just the truth of it.
Yeah, you know what, Mr. Best, and you know, and I definitely, and you already know, man. Like, I could definitely relate to you because, like, that's how I kind of feel like sometimes. Like, what's the point of me going back to, like, Oakland? You know, I was born and raised out of Oakland. I've been living there my whole life before I made my move, you know, to another area in California. I ain't gonna tell y'all where I live at, but you know what I mean. But when my mom passed, unfortunately, she, you know, passed like. You know, she had her incident like in our home, but it wasn't the same. You know what I mean? It put me to like a deep depression to where it's like, man, I couldn't even stay in that apartment no more. I couldn't like really function knowing that, man, like she's no longer here. And it's nothing like, you know, like a mother's love. So, you know, a part of me is like, okay, like, yeah, like, you know, like I respect where I grew up from, but there's nothing for me to go back. I do have an auntie that still lives out of Oakland, but it's still not the same because me going to her house is like seeing my mom's apartment across because we was all neighbors, you know. My auntie living like, you know, across the street or whatever from where my mom used to live. Now she lives like, you know, a little close by me, but the point is that, you know, going back is not the same. Like, you know, when the person that you cherish the most, you love the most, is no longer there. Yeah. I don't even travel out to Savannah, Georgia, like my mom's birthplace, or see my relatives because my grandfather and my grandmother, like, you know, passed, like, you know, almost within that year, a year apart, actually. So it's like, dang, like, you know I do have cousins and an uncle and aunties, but I don't know, it messes you up on the inside.
Well, I think just to play the devil's advocate too, it's because you guys have like specific, like, what about somebody that never had a mom or a dad?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what do they compare that to? So I see actually what the Queen said, because I was in a really fucked up situation after my girlfriend and I broke up, because I consider her to be my wife.
Yeah. I
consider her so much that I forsake like my family and what they thought about me and my religion, everything, because it was just a big no-no. You're not supposed to be gay. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't even gay. I love this woman more than anything because she became my family. Whether or not she was like the best for me or not, like that's who I pulled in as like the most important person to me, to be real. Mm-hmm. Okay? It doesn't mean I don't love my mom and dad or anything like that. It's just like I wasn't that tight, I guess. You know what I mean? We had our own traumas that, you know what I'm saying? Like and so I think it depends. Like you, sir, you're fortunate to have that mommy love, that auntie love, and like Some people don't have that. The closest thing really is their spouse or their dog. You know what I mean? I don't know.
No, and I agree. Like sometimes, like your animals could be like your best friends as well too. Though.
It's just whatever is your connection. You feel me?
Yeah.
That takes us back to the word. That takes us back to the word intimacy, right? You break it into syllables and spell it out. Into me, see the view inside the person that you see, like the physical person you see. You spend time, you conversate, and you see inside the person how they think, how they feel, what makes them sad, happy. You know? That's the intimacy, like into me.
I like that.
Take a look inside beyond just what my physical appearance or the attraction of my face or my body. Yeah. Intimacy, into me, see.
That's actually great insight, and it makes absolute sense. And so there's a couple of other things I wanted to talk about, and it just like escapes my mind right now. But I also want to talk about, does anyone have any questions about like single life or anything like that? You know what I mean?
Look,
or is it unappealing?
No, it's heavily advertised to be single and to not get married like now these days. Whenever you go into like YouTube channels, and I don't know if you guys understand like the red pill movement or whatever, but they promote like a lot of that, like, hey, don't get married, you're gonna ruin your life, or if you're trying to get into a relationship, try to get multiple girls, at the same time, but you gotta build yourself up as a high value. There's a lot of
that have never been married.
Yeah, of course. They never been in a relationship. It was always losers taking that L, but once you get behind the camera on YouTube, then you're this alpha, mega, guru type of dude.
Yeah, don't be fake with it. Like, really give advice if you really do that. You know what I'm saying?
Or if you've been there. Like,
that's whack,
how can you say, never get married if you never had that experience?
Exactly. You can't speak on it because you're just, So we were in the studio today. I just want to say very proud of M3, proud of his woman, his wife, for also being there as well. And I'm proud of myself too. I wasn't ready. I honestly wasn't sure that they was gonna come or not. Okay, because I didn't know them yet. Now I would never doubt their word, either of their word ever again. Okay, I wouldn't even doubt Mr. Best. Okay. But I'm really grateful for this opportunity. I feel like this is a continuation of New York when I was out there doing my thing with Motherhood, Sex, Marijuana. I'm going to put it out there. That's the name of my podcast. Check us out. Yeah. And I just really thank you all for being here. Like, this is dope. It's a blessing when anyone like wants to visit you. You feel me? And we don't get a lot of visitors. I live next door to my sister. My mom's out here. She just be, touring back and forth. You know what I'm saying?
So look, right, I normally don't really travel that far out to like, see another person. And here's the thing, right, on the record too, Ruby is the first ever person that we actually did a live talk that I'm actually meeting in person in her town, right? I want to do that for anybody else. No, for real, like, because like, Look, there's just other YouTubers, right, who, whether we did have an interview with somebody, right, and she lives like in Portland, but I'm not going to go out my way to go see her or whatever. You got to actually add value to my life, well, not even just my life, but value into the atmosphere. And so, by our conversation, I'm like, okay, I actually trust you a little bit. You know what I mean? I was like, okay, like, I know she's going out to New York, but I'm like, okay, hopefully she's coming back. But at the same time, I'm like, I'm going to make that drive out there. The drive is, it's like 10 hours, okay, from California to Portland, Oregon, okay? It's 5.5 hours to get to Klamath Falls, where we was at. Shout out to Uncle Greg. If you watching us, we love you, okay? Then, it took another 5.5 hours to get from Klamath Falls in Oregon, to get to Portland, Oregon, right? So Portland is pretty big than what you really like imagine.
Oregon is big.
Oregon. I'm sorry, I'm gonna say Oregon, the state of Oregon, not Portland. But then here's the other thing too, though, right? And then of course, like my wife, she has like an aunt, right? She also Aunt Vicky, we love you as well too. Yeah, she has it too. What was the name of the city? in
Tacoma.
Washington, right? Like almost near Seattle. So I'm like, okay, so at least that was like 2.5 hours. So it was like another 5-hour drive because it was another 5-hour drive. I'm like, oh my gosh, right? You know, but
we were almost in Canada.
Yes. So look, when we come back, right, and then also to give her early birthday shout outs, right? Because she is a Juneteenth baby, okay?
And my sister's birthday the next day, the 20th.
Hey, happy birthday.
God damn it, happy birthday as well, too.
Gemini season, baby.
Yeah. So, like I said, man, like, hey, who knows? Like, I'm not going to give nobody no high hopes, though, but definitely, the next time when we have maybe a week off, I'd like to come back here again.
Welcome whenever.
Yeah. Look, electronic shopping, ring shopping.
You just gotta bring Mr. Best with you. Mr. Brent, bring your lady.
I'm not getting in no car for no 10 hours. He know that. If I'm coming to see you, I'm getting on a plane.
It's only like a couple of hours on the plane.
Take the train.
There you go. Plane.
Yeah.
Plane or the train.
I don't know. I have a feeling Mr. Best is kind of too bougie.
Nah, Mr. Best is, I just like things a certain way, so you know what I mean? Like I just like things structured and I like things a certain way. So when I travel, I just like to be in comfort and I'm just now if you would have asked me to do a road trip like 10 years ago, maybe 15, I would have been down. That's when I was in my 20s. But I'm almost 40, so like I can't and I got health issues. I got health issues too, sister. I can't be on the road for 5 hours. I got health issues, so I gotta be in comfort. You know what I'm saying? Like my road warrior days is over for me. You know what I'm saying?
More shit. I want you to be comfortable too, but you're welcome here anytime as well. And if you
definitely.
You might be welcome here too, but I gotta see about you first. Invite me on your podcast. I don't know.
Now, I'm not gonna go too far, but she's been asking someone like, "Hey man, do you have a picture of Mr. Best?" Like, I'm like,
nah, man.
I'm gonna stop asking because they put it perfectly. They said that's his persona. We're gonna respect it and see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm gonna just leave it alone, okay?
And wait, you supposed to be coming out here though? You say you're coming out here?
Yeah, I do want to come out there. I just can't tell you exactly when, but I will.
Okay.
For Juneteenth.
I wish.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm gonna just say I'm not even gonna. I know I can't because I've already made prior obligations here. Okay. One of which, me and my sister are going to a shooting range because we're celebrating our birthdays together. And your girl has like 4 jobs, so I can't go nowhere. And I got like 80 kids.
Yeah, it just look like she can shoot a pistol anyway.
Do y'all have any stories for me? I mean, I know people are kind of leery about sharing like sexual experiences, but if you want, I can share. If anyone has a question, don't be shy.
What was your worst experience like in the bedroom in your polyamorous relationships?
Oh man, it makes me want to cry. So I was, my partner and I were seducing a woman that he happened to, and the thing I think where we messed up with this one is that she was from a past relationship and she had very strong feelings for him. I at the moment was like we was living together, so we're kind of, I was like the main one, and I wanted to make love with her, and as I was about to, she started crying, and she cried, and she gathered her shit, and it was like 2 a.m, and then she left, and she just never talked to me again, and I guess she told my the dude I was with that she would give him a chance if he left me. So I don't know. Maybe she didn't like me. Maybe my breath stank. But she was gonna get it. Okay, she was gonna get it. She missed out.
You know, some people are like they don't like to share, right?
Well, if that was it, it was real ill. I was actually butthurt. I was like, damn, does she not like me? Like, what's wrong with me? She is still in love with the dude. It was paining her, and that's what I mean. If you're not ready for it, don't do it. Like, just save yourself the heartache and save everybody the blue balls and the frustration on your ass and just not do it.
A person there told me about, and these were like, you know, like celebrity couples, I think, that was like getting into like, and I'm not saying no celebrities' names, but it was getting into those type of like relationships. But eventually, like, I think the dude, he couldn't really handle it. He agreed to like the woman's request to get into a poly relationship, and everything was all good. But then you start catching feelings, and then next thing you know, he ends up deleting the woman. You know, we have to say delete on YouTube. So, but
Okay.
you know what I mean. So, like, the thing is, like, the downside is that you may agree into just like a contract.
Yeah.
When the person agrees into like being in a monogamous American, a monogamous relationship, but then later you have a different taste. You want to try something new, but your partner is like, hey, like, you know, like you know, you made that commitment. I only just want you. And that's it. I don't want you to share with no other woman. And that applies kind of, you know, a little bit of pressure because most people, especially if you get married young, you don't know what you're really getting yourself into.
I have to agree. And I think that it's a blessing, like, and it would probably be an amazing, like, you'd probably be one, I don't know what the ratio would be if you could really pull that off. But, and like I said, I honor relationships that take it seriously. If you're going to take you seriously and your shit seriously, then I'll take you seriously too. You know?
Yeah, so.
That's what's up. And if anyone doesn't have any other questions, I mean.
Hey, you said you was going to ask us some questions anyway. You must have forgot.
I don't know if you read. Y'all hold it back.
Are we gonna give them a little music?
Uh-oh.
She wants to play like a sample of our music every day.
No. The only reason why I can't do that, Queen, is because it's not done. But if you wanted to hear like some quick 16s, well, I'm sure we could bless y'all a little bit. But I think people are in here because they want to talk about juicy relationship stuff and the whole thing.
Spit a quick one. Y'all brought it up. So spit a quick one. Don't keep us in suspense.
Okay.
Man, so they really want you to do the music thing, but okay, you want to do an acapella then?
Okay.
Or you just
I'll
want
just
to
do one of my jams or one of my songs.
Hey, okay, go ahead.
Okay. Hold on, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Oh wait. I'm like thinking of which one. I'm sorry. Okay, so you guys tell me. Do you want me to do American Dream X or Crossfaded or the Gressel?
The Gressel,
Crossfaded.
Okay.
Crossfaded, yeah.
Before the sunrise, as the moon drop in, I'm in my zone again, pill popping. That's when we locked optics. Now my only option was 2 shots, Strabazan, smoke a blunt of the LA Confident, and I'll do anything he asks. Feels like we're moving too fast, but there ain't no way I'm stopping it. You're gonna make me blush, baby, stop it. Counting UFOs with, okay, I'm out. Your turn. That's it. Y'all gotta pay for my tickets to my show. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, let's see. All right, I'm gonna go wait. Let's see. It's a song called. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna try to see if I can remember this, right? And I might form on this one. The only thing that I can say to you, that you are my #1 girl, and yes, baby girl, it is true. You know that I love and adore you. Something. Okay, no. Bad one, because I can't remember that part. Go out the beat. All right, let me try this one. I spit rhymes so majestically. Don't test me or outbest me. Put your money down and invest me while you soak up the game from a millionaire. The saints just prayed and he wished me well because my flow's so sick like a sickle cell. And that's just like another story to tell for the ladies as we ride in Mercedes just to well out to show that I made it. I always read and pray every night and day. One line. But hard until I get my pay. Collecting my riches while you own pills. So pass the wheel, cause you know I got skills. Your heart spill rage, cause you know I got skills. Your heart's spirit raised, so you go kill Bill. Damn, man. I think your homeboy needs to chill, so we stuffed him in the box and then we sent him to Brazil. Until we live another day, and that's God's will.
Thank you. Thank you. You know what? I gotta give it up to M3 because he in the studio, he made sure that he was very actively engaged, and he was really giving us pointers as to, because I hadn't even done my shit right. I hadn't even written it down exactly the way I wanted to because I procrastinated. So lesson learned, boom. And then so it stretched me, and by them coming, it just made me kind of get on my shit a little bit. So we did get through it, except the thing has to be mastered. Any more questions, y'all, for the panel?
Anyone?
They went to sleep.
No. Nah.
I think we're good, but yeah. I mean, other than that, man, it was definitely a fun experience.
Yeah.
And I haven't been in a professional studio like that in a long time since my drive to LA. So I mean, what it shows, and then I was observing. Shouts to Pastor
Gordon.
Pastor Gordon.
Yeah.
Gordon. Shouts to Pastor Gordon, right? Because the guy has great talent. So he using logic, and I noticed everybody in the church are Apple people, right? They was using all kinds of Apple products. So hey, I'm gonna go get an Apple product in Oregon, right?
No tax.
Yeah, no tax, right?
I told you, Big Bougie.
So I'm like this, right? I mean, now I have more options. I could get Logic if I want to. Actually, the thing comes with GarageBand as well too. So yeah, you can do all kinds of stuff with it. But anyways, the way how he was just mixing things and putting things together, it's it made me miss my engineering days.
Yeah.
I still have it in me, but it's
put fire in you.
Yeah, I don't have nobody come over to the house and try to lay down on a track or whatever. So it's just what it is. Just be my little mic, and I'm just going to use that for the podcast. So,
that's what's up.
Yeah. But other than that, man,
and shout out to my Sela Bear. My daughter was in the building too.
Yes.
And she's also training to be my DJ. And so it's things like that. I find a lot of pride in just creating my own lane, doing things that I want to do, and to have my daughter there I think she gave me that extra confidence, you know what I mean? And I'm going to try not to cry.
She can dance. We're doing the Cabbage Patch together.
Yeah, she's a sweet, adorable little girl too, though. So
thank you so much again, guys. I love y'all. Check me out on Motherhood Sex Marijuana, and then you can also check me out, Rue the Gypsy, on any streaming platform. I'm also Googleable, so just Google a bitch.
Okay, now Rue, right? Actually, I don't know if we got to this. Well, first, let me get to the comments. But did you get a chance to talk about your New York experience?
Okay. I'm gonna share our story. Go ahead.
Let me read the comments so I can give shout outs, right? So Lady Phoenix says happy birthday to you, ladies.
Thank you.
Okay. Early birthday that is.
Thank
she
you.
Says nice to hear your testimonies and happy early birthday. Have a swallow of something for me. What's it called? Cosmopolitan. Okay.
Girl, I smoke weed. I'll be doing this, girl.
Yeah.
But I'll probably have some Douce or something.
And shout out to Frosty and Como. They said welcome to the house. Yes, thank you. Thank you guys for tuning in as well. So definitely appreciate that. But yeah, I want to hear more about just your experience, in New York.
I have something to share. It's very personal, actually, and I'm really proud of myself. So, long story short, I met this guy about 3-ish years ago, maybe more. And long story short, I had met up with him in New York. We had this incredible time. I think about this night that I shared with this guy all the time, okay? And mind you, he was very honest with me from the jump. he said he had a girl and he loves her, you know, that's his girl, and he liked me. That's just what it is, right? And I really respected him, and everything like I asked him, he was just like straight up with it. You know what I'm saying? So long story short, I meet up with him. I'm all nervous and stuff like that. We have sex a few times, mind you, and then I kind of just like long story short, he goes about his life, I go about my life, right? And then maybe about 7-8 months ago or something, we kind of got like back in touch via social media.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just really like cool, like on some cool shit, like how you doing, you know what I'm saying? And I had shared with him that my experiences were quite different because I was with somebody too. I should have said that. I'm sorry. I was with somebody. He was with somebody. So anyway, we were supposed to meet up in New York, right? And we didn't, but I don't regret it because for one thing, I proved to myself that I'm about my business. And I used to lie to myself, telling me that I was like a sex addict and I needed to do certain things. And the fact of the matter is, no, you don't. You don't need to lie to yourself and tell yourself that you're addicted to anything or that there's something wrong with you. All you need to do is kind of like dig deep, be honest, and be like, why do I do shit like this? Maybe it's tied into a trauma, or maybe it's tied into like a lack of like faith in yourself, right? So anyway, tangent. So it really was like a full circle. And because of the power of transmutation, I feel like I attracted like all this good energy around me, like you guys coming out, the stuff that's happening in my career-wise that I don't even talk to you guys about, stuff that's happening at home, stuff that's happening between me and my sister, and our relationship is all flourishing because I'm using my sexual energy to get shit done. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really grateful for that. And it doesn't mean that I don't like this guy. Like I still like have the hots for him. Whenever we do chill, we probably will have sex, but it's not about that. You feel me? And so I did want to share that because I was kind of worried about myself. You know? Thank you. It's just, y'all are too kind. You know what I mean? You ain't got to clap for me, but thank you. I was real shit.
No matter what, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's good because like what you're displaying is a bunch of discipline. You know what I mean? And sometimes, I mean, look. I always usually say this, right? I never like to mix business with pleasure, but you know, when you're getting stuff done, like it's a huge accomplishment when you're not focused on like just like the physical needs or what you
the
emotional
release,
needs, like the release. You know what I mean? Like you're just trying to like do what you need to do, get things out the way, and then treat yourself like later on after like when the business is complete. You feel me?
I mean, that's the thing. As long as this is what I've come to the conclusion. All these things, especially with my failed marriages, not just one, but I've had a couple. It's like I need to restructure like what's important to me, and then once I get my empire set and my bread up a certain way, then dude, I can do anything. I can have a whole circus full of lovers if I wanted to. But right now is rhyme time, baby. I must be tired. I usually go to sleep at 8:30.
I feel like shout outs to let me see. Shout outs to Nightmare. Like he says like I should be there. Oh, but before that he said like, can I get some weed, please though.
Where you at? Are you in Portland?
Hold on, make sure you subscribe.
Like what you talking about? Tell me where you at. How can I give you weed? I can't just send it through.
Yeah, and then
I can smoke you out if you cool though.
And then let's see. The Trendy Mood, right? Says hi. I just subscribed. So the Trendy Mood, thank you for subscribing to Knowledge and Relationships. And,
now subscribe to Motherhood Sex Marijuana.
Exactly. I was gonna put that plug in as well too, though, right? Support the family, support motherhood, sex, and marijuana. Show the picture as well. Support like the Intellectual SoapBox, EazilyRigged. Yo, man, we're like family, man. So we try to roll up in like a unit.
Yeah,
we got other stuff. Matter of fact, speaking of networking, right? Okay. Now I know you and Best, right? You know, Best mentioned something about you guys doing like I think the music thing, right? Together.
The talent showcase.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
So anybody, if you want to share like art that you did, even if like you drew something, you could share whatever you want. Just think of it like a talent show online. So we do this via StreamYard. We did have a very successful one. I want to shout out my broski here because he led that cypher session and I was supposed to start it, but I didn't. And no, I just think that we've got something really good, Mr. Best, with this talent showcase. And so if you want in, go ahead and DM or hit me up, Rue_deserves_bliss on Instagram, or hit these guys up if you don't know, and we'll give you the information on how you can rock with us at the next talent showcase, because you never know who's watching you.
And the first talent showcase, man, it was like a blast.
It was cool.
Yo, I mean, we had people from we had 2 people from the UK, right? I mean,
a few from South Africa as well.
Yeah. And so, like, man, like people like freestyling. People had the poetry out there ready, locked and loaded. So I was like, yo, like this is magnificent right there. So,
shout out to Jess, she's amazing.
Yeah, so you know the Intellectual SoapBox, man, is definitely a channel that you do not want to sleep on because like it has. I mean, look, I know we claim like non-relations, we produce like quality content though, but you know the Intellectual SoapBox, man, like they go further and beyond, man, like what they do.
It was also a guest on there too. We talked about the supernatural and stuff like that, and I shared some things about my culture. So we linked in for sure, huh? I love that.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah, y'all want to be in the camera at least one good time?
Okay.
Okay. Oh, hey,
I think we should dance a little bit.
I think we could fit a couch for 4. Like, come on,
come on over here, guys.
All right.
Yeah,
Sponsored by Jesus, I guess. Nah, they gotta pay me though.
Oh my goodness.
No, really, Motherhood Sex Marijuana is approaching our 6th season. And so check us out, yo. August 6th, we start the 6th season. We're gonna show content from New York. My girl's going to Panama. Come on, Queens. Come on.
Yeah. So this is Ruby's sister, okay?
Hey, sister.
And then y'all know Mrs. MD, like the wife, but yeah, okay, hey, nah. Yeah, okay. Okay, that all right. I'm loving this now, right? Like this actually feels like a podcast.
Yeah.
Look, you was talking the background and all that, but I'm like, man, y'all gotta come up, man, at least, right? Into the camera. But other than that, shouts like to the ladies, man, because my wife, she been definitely supporting me from day one, as always.
That's right.
And look, without her, it's a long drive, okay? Without her, like I don't know what would I have been doing driving by myself. So I'm just saying. But yeah, shout outs to Mrs. M3 and shout outs to her lovely sister, man. Like we met her like last night. We had a blast, like just talk about.
This is Lady J right here, Lady J.
Lady J, yes, Lady J. Yeah. Anyway, so like you guys want to talk about anything else though?
They're just beautiful souls. I met these sisters yesterday, and I really appreciate their heart for hospitality and just sharing their life and opening up to us.
Likewise. Yeah. I like what you guys are doing. Since it's a platform of like relationship, I had a question for everybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
What is something like, because I am big on self-care. Mm-hmm. And I think anything that empowers anyone should be shared. So does anyone have anything that they do like personally, if you are vulnerable enough to share like something, self-care, you know what I mean? Like for me, for example, if I see a challenge, to me, that's for me to polish myself, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's everything is meant for you. So like, what can you give someone who's always consistently working on themselves? Like, what do you do personally? You know what I mean? Like, I set a 5 o'clock alarm. It's my smile alarm, because I went through depression and everything, and I knew I didn't smile for a long time. So like, just in case I didn't smile that day, that was my smile. At 5 o'clock alarm. So does anyone have like things that they do, little things personally that you like to share with self-care?
I mean, for me, like health and wellness is a big thing because, you know, I do have a lifetime illness, so health and wellness is key, and sleep is a big thing. Water
Yes.
intake, fruits and veggies. I'll say a
Yes.
big thing that people take for granted a lot is sunlight. Like sunlight really increases your health so much. Like so, open them blinds up, y'all. Open them blinds up. Let that sun shine on you. Let it soak into your melanin. If you melanated, you know what I mean. You got a little shade to you. Let that sun, vibe off the sun. You know what I mean? Because I'm telling you, like it'll increase your mood. It'll make you a lot more happier, and it'll make you a lot more vibrant. Increases your health because sometimes we have our blinds closed, whatever, because neighbors or whatever. But man, look, the neighbors is gonna have to get used to you walking by, however you walk by, and you know what I'm saying. Let that sun shine in on you. You know what I'm saying. You know what I mean, and maybe it'll it'll inspire other people to do the same thing. Like we as people, we're too at times we don't we're not gravitating towards our highest energy because we're too close in. You know what I'm saying? And we're so worried about what people think or how they're gonna look at us, whatever. But I'm like, at this point in my life, man, I don't care about none of that. Like I just want to, be at my best. And I also say like, another big part of wellness is doing things that comfort you. And it could be something small. It could be like a walk, it could be like a bath, it can be reading a book, it can be a combination of things, it could be talking to certain people. Because everything around you brings you a certain vibration. What you watch, what you listen to, who you're around, everything around you, you're consuming something, right? So I'd rather consume things that are positive, that's gonna feed me, that's gonna make me fly to my highest peak than things that are not. Sometimes we feel guilty for not wanting to be at our best. We're like, nah, maybe I shouldn't do that, or maybe it's gonna offend somebody. Look, man, forget them. If they're gonna be offended, let them be offended. It don't even matter. Like if you being your best, you know what I'm saying, then that's all that matters. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, if something happens to you for not being your best, those same people that you're trying to, compromise for, or you're trying to, fit your life into their life, they will leave you in a heartbeat. They will be out in a minute. You know what I'm saying? And they'll find somebody else to get to vibe off of. So vibes are everything, yo. I'm telling you, vibes are everything. Work environment, everything. Every environment that you in has a vibe. So make sure that vibe connects with you. And if it don't, definitely make sure you find a different location. So yeah.
I just love you, Mr. Best.
Thank you.
You're my homie.
A personal self-care, and thank you for sharing, Mr. Best, too.
Definitely.
Yeah, like health and wellness is like, a big component, but my ultimate self-care is basically reminding myself that when I'm out there in public, I need to smile. I need to be friendly. It actually helps me with my mental health because sometimes there's so much negativity that goes around, like in the YouTube streets, and also like in real life as well too. I gotta constantly remind myself that what, who have I not approached yet and just actually helped to make them smile by just saying hello. So like just walking by and just I always have to be guarded up and have like a mean mug on your face.
Yeah.
You can actually walk up or you're walking past a guy, right, and just say, smile, hello. Ain't gotta be like, no, what's up, well, no, hello. Or how you doing? How you doing, my brother? And that's it. And some people actually appreciate that when you actually showing a smile on your face. So that's how I look at it.
Yep. Turn that frown
Upside down.
Now you have a smile.
It takes your muscles.
Right?
Lady Fink says neighbors are so cool. Oh, grow a garden. Even if it's a small one, invest in you. Definitely.
I think also a big one too is emotional vulnerability. Like emotional vulnerability is a huge thing. Like and basically emotional expression because at times like in 3 says you may not feel your best. So you know what I'm saying. You want to make sure you have an outlet for those emotions. You know what I'm saying, and you want to express them. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times we suppress, right? Because we suppress because we just want to keep it moving, or we don't want to be down, or we don't want to bring other people down. But it's like, nah, don't suppress. Like, express that emotion, get that negative energy out of you so that you can keep moving. You know what I mean? Because if that negative energy is there, it's gonna affect everything. Like, you know what I mean? You ever had one of them days where you either miss like your bus or your train, or you supposed to get somebody messed up your food order, so now you're mad in the morning. You know what I mean? Like, they gave you 2 sugars instead of 1, and now you like, damn it, where's my other sugar? You know what I mean? Like, we all been there. So you feeling away in the morning, and then like now you get to work, and now your boss is giving you all this work or whatever, or maybe like a few minutes late, and now he looking at you like you crazy, or she looking at you like you crazy, and you're like, damn, like, I'm just only a few minutes late, like, chill. Like, so it just keeps spiraling because you ain't deal with the whole thing of them messing up your order wherever you get, of your 2 sugars instead of 1. You still stuck on that. So now you get to work and you carrying that same energy. You know what I'm saying? So if you just gotta, just deal with the energy. Like, man, I'm pissed. They effed up my order. They know I always get 2 sugars. Like, I'm mad. Let me just fester through this while getting to work. And then once you get to work, once you release it, now if whatever's going on at work, it's just going on. You know what I mean? You can compartmentalize what's going on because you already dealt with that whole negativity. But you know what I'm saying? Or one thing I hate too is when I'm like getting ready to do something and I drop something. It could be a phone, it could be a piece of paper. It don't matter. I hate when I drop stuff. When I drop stuff, I just feel like the world's gonna come to an end. I could basically pick it up, right? But it's like I'm just in the mood of moving. So if something drops, or you know what I mean, I'm putting on some pants and they rip, or just whatever, or shirt got a hole in it. I'm like, oh shit, like come on, man, like damn, my day's messed up. But it's like, nah, that's just one thing. You got like mad shirts in the closet. Just take another one and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? But like sometimes we get hung up because we want everything to be seamless. And life ain't perfect. Like, you know what I mean? And those imperfections actually make it fun. So yeah.
How about you, Lady Rue? What do you do to be happy? Where's your happy?
Man, I masturbate and I smoke weed.
Okay.
I do. That's because it's only if I need to scoot up because I was falling asleep next to my sister.
Okay.
She's my comfort. So of course, when you're next to, like when you're probably next to each other, you kind of feel drowsy because it's something about it's like a chemical reaction or something. No, seriously.
Pheromones.
So, right. So I was like, ooh, I was getting too comfortable with her. But yeah, I masturbate and I smoke weed. I try to meditate, but I can't get myself to be still, so I do moving meditation, and that's it. And then I do my podcast and I make music.
See, this is why I connect with you so much. Like, you're just a straight G, like with your realness. That's Vouaghn good. It is prominent because the thing is, like, and it's so underestimated. Everybody thinks that you gotta have like this kind of wall, this shield, and then people's gonna respect you, and then that's how you're gonna build friends or whatever. But honestly, like you do have to be vulnerable to the right type of people when you connect their energies align, because some people are not gonna take it that well. But the thing is, when you're the type of person, you're just straightforward, and you're just like, hey, this is just who I am from the get-go. Yeah. That's a line of good communication, because now we know like who you are and where you stand at, and then it also pretty much inspires us to be vulnerable as well too, though, because it's like, okay, well, I'm no different from you or whatever, right? You're no different from me, like, or no different from any of us. Mm-hmm. So when we like throw away the judgment from each other, and we just be honest and just let people know like this is who we are, and if you accept us, that's where the bonds like create.
I love that.
That's true. Happy to me. You have to be content with what you have, but you also remind yourself that you're loved. You're always loved. Mm-hmm. God is never gonna stop loving us, no matter what, because He knows us inside and out. Mm-hmm. He is like intimacy. Like, I already know. Come to me. I want to talk to you. That's God. Mm-hmm. I know. Try to meditate. Some meditation, talking to God is meditation. It's prayer. Sure. I had 5 family members die within like 4 years of each other or something that. Four within 5 years. And I remember breaking down crying, like I couldn't even finish the work day. My bosses had to come and take over everything. One of my students gave me this, And I rarely wear it, but the last week or two I've been wearing it a lot. And it's a scripture and symbols. So it's a question mark, it's the cross, it's the division, like the sign for divide, and the heart. And it's like, what can separate you from God's love? And the truth is nothing, no matter what.
I love that.
Nothing.
You know what? I'm gonna. This queen taught me something today. I had asked her. I said, "Well, how did you know that your husband was the one? Like, or when did you fall in love with your husband?" And she said, which I found very interesting. She said they had gotten in an argument, and he said, "You're not leaving until we solve this." Something to that effect. Or, you know, you're not gonna leave until we solve this. And she said that she didn't admit it to him in the moment, but she was like, that's gonna be my husband. So, you know what I'm saying? Take some game from Mr. M3, okay? And I think that's a beautiful, you know what I'm saying? I mean, what do you get?
If he had let me go, right? If he had let me go, I'm like, oh, I am the boss of him. I don't wanna, you know? It would have been like, oh, then.
And we three are strong women. We're strong, independent, educated. You can't tell us nothing type of women. But believe you me, as strong as I am, I'll submit to someone that can put me in my place. Yeah,
sure, put me in my place, exactly.
But if you can't put me in my place, then you can't.
I mean, you gotta put anybody in their place, but I mean, go ahead.
It's that. As strong as I am, and even
I think it's the feminine energy. The natural energy for feminine is to surrender and submit.
Yeah, surrender.
Right.
There you go. I want to
That was
surrender.
early on in our
And there is leadership to that. It's not to be mistaken as weakness.
He was leading.
Submission is leadership. If you can guide yourself that way, you know. But that's feminine energy. We just want to submit as long as we feel safe.
Boom.
I was trying to
You know
slam
what I
the
mean?
door and drive. You know,
You kind of want to feel
movies,
scared just a little bit.
one of those movie moments. I was like, get in the car.
Right?
He grabbed me. You're like, wait.
Okay, does that make sense to men?
Beautiful.
We want to, it's just a little bit. I want to be scared just a little bit, but I know I'm safe. Does that make sense? Because it kind of puts a little fire in a woman. Like,
Exactly.
Yeah.
He probably wasn't even.
I want to
thinking
pump
that.
you, but I want you to just come right back.
You
at me.
better-
Like,
yeah.
let me sit down. My bad.
Don't
You
let
know?
me punk you for real.
Exactly.
I'm gonna try it because that's just our nature.
But I feel safe that, you know what I mean?
I
Like,
feel safe letting down.
because I know damn well I ain't gonna whoop your ass, but I'm gonna try it. And I love that you gonna come
I'll
back. and-
push the buttons to see
Exactly.
how far
It's
you're gonna let
the
me go.
balance. You don't want to be a dick. You're not going to be
You're gonna
coming
push
over
the
here
buttons.
and
He's like,
take
no, I'm
theater.
the man.
You know what I'm saying? You need to develop trust.
And I think aggression has to be a certain way, not too much, not too
And they
little.
don't say it that way. It's just his character to resolve things.
Yeah.
You
And
gotta
that is attractive.
have.
I think that.
Oh wait, Mr. Best, before you say
Go ahead,
anything,
M3.
right, I do have to give a shout out to like Lady Finn. She probably went to bed already though, but she donated like a cash app or whatever. So
Thank
Lady
you.
Phoenix, thank you.
Thank you, Lady Phoenix.
Yeah. But we really appreciate you. We love you a lot, Lady Phoenix, though.
Good job, lady.
Thank you, Lady Phoenix. We appreciate it. All the love you've been giving us all day. I just will say this. I think that like men and women, like we do have different things that we do. Like we do have like our different characteristics. But I think like for me, like as a man, like if I'm with a woman, like I got to like, cause men, we like sometimes we could be naturally prideful, right? We could be prideful. We could be like, yo, it's my way because I'm the man, right? So that domineering nature can come out, right? But like if I'm with a woman that's quality, right? Then my level of trust needs to be there, and I need to embrace her as my woman. I need to let her in, right? So my pride has to be put down. I gotta let go of some of my pride. Now, it's hard to do that, like if it's another man, because us men, we sometimes, that testosterone is going. He got his testosterone going. I got my testosterone going. Our prides are, going back and forth, and so we like two bulls in a china shop. We going in, right? And we're not thinking of the consequences or the repercussions of our actions at that moment because our testosterone is on a high level. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're younger, like, yo, forget about it. You know what I mean? Like you just like on a million with that. So, and then with women, like sometimes, women can get emotional or they can get, their emotions can maybe, it can kind of swift their logic because they're operating off of estrogen. estrogen, revolves more around emotion. It revolves less around logic. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it has its own sense of pride, but it's different than a man. That's why I always tell men that if women are telling you things or doing things, you gotta meet them at their language. It's not like you talking to your homeboy, right? So you talking to your homeboy, y'all talking like you ain't even gotta like I could look at him three, we could say something, and as soon as he say something, I know what he talking about, right? I'm like, yeah, I feel the same way, bro. And he like, yeah, don't you? I'm like, yeah, I know. And then and that's how the conversation go. But if I say it to a female, she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. You know what I mean? You don't make no sense. And it's like, yo, I'm making perfect sense. And that happens with me and my woman all the time. Like I'm saying something literally, like I feel like I'm making sense. And she's like, you ain't making sense. And I'm like, God damn it. Do I need to write it out? Like I'm telling you what this is. But she not understanding nothing I'm saying. You know what I mean? Then I gotta remember, oh, okay, women speak sometimes a different language. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not coming from the male experience. They're not feeling what we feel. We ain't, and then we're not feeling what they feel. We don't got periods and all that. Like we ain't dealing with none of that. I don't bleed every month. Like it's not gonna happen. Like never in my life. Like I'm not dealing with certain things y'all deal with. So y'all emotions, y'all hormones and everything, it's just different. Y'all reactions are gonna be different. But I think both men and women bring value to each other, right? We bring value to each other, we bring trust to each other, and we bring that security to each other. Like if I'm with somebody, like whether it's Ruby Doll or her sister, if I'm with them, right, and I'm getting to know them, right, I'm looking at how can I bring value to them, right, first, because I'm thinking about what I can bring first, right. So if you care about somebody, you got to think about what you can bring first. Then I'm gonna be focused on. So it's kind of like a duality. I'm thinking about what I can bring, but I'm also thinking about, man, what can she bring to me as well? Like how can we bring
Right.
stability and
Absolutely.
love and balance to each other? You feel what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So instead of it's like, all right, I'm gonna get with this girl, and man, she look good, and yeah, we already know what it is. It's like, all right, cool, that's good, and maybe that's good for the moment. But if we really vibing, do I really want to have this woman for a moment, or if she's really something precious, do I want to have her for a lifetime? You feel me? So
Yeah.
that's the thing. So
Okay.
Hey,
Yeah.
it's so beautiful. This is like an amazing space. I feel very safe to say. I mean, I always am vulnerable, but I feel very safe here. So, how many like have anybody else here had a polyamorous relationship, or am I the only one?
the way she said it, though.
I think we're really
Oh
like
man.
your experience
Okay.
that you're sharing with us tonight.
Okay.
Hey, like I said, I already told you, like, my background, like, I was a host, so, I mean, I
We
can't,
all were.
yeah, so relationships is like, okay, whatever, right? I mean, these things, yeah, I did that, but yeah.
Even those could be overrated. I don't think, see, when I think of polyamorous, it's not all just about threesomes and orgies. That's not, people, dude, I once had to break up with 2 people in the same week. And so it's like it's breaking your heart twice. So it's not this glamorous thing either. That's why I'm really being real with y'all. Like, if you really want to consider this and you want to give your attention to more than one person, you have to know what that entails. So, long story short, it's like when it's good, it's good. When it's bad, it's really bad. You
But
know
I
what
think
I'm
that's
saying?
any relationship, right, Ruby Doll? Like that's any
Oh,
relationship.
sure.
And
I
then
was
like,
just saying.
okay, I got a question for you, Ruby Doll. So, like, with people that like you connect with, like some of them you're not intimate with on a physical level, right? Some are just the connection could be different, right? It could be maybe spiritual, maybe mental, maybe emotional. Correct? If I'm wrong, you can correct me.
Oh no, you're good. You're doing good. Doing well.
So okay, so when you meet those different connections, like how do you process them, and how do you communicate to the person like what level you feel like things are? You know what I'm saying? Like
Oh,
how
good.
like how do you effectively communicate that?
I mean, I talk a lot, and I express myself a lot, and usually, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like most relationships I get into, I want to fuck. Like I'm not gonna just look for somebody to go to the movies with, but I'm saying I'm open to that. Like let's say I met a partner. Like let's say I met a man, and he just was very scared, to have relations because he don't want to like contract nothing. Like I understand that. You know what I mean? If he was like, you're not trusting of people, like, hey, I don't want to have sex right now. As long as I understand it, I'm okay. You know what I mean? But I feel like intimacy in that part completes the relationship at the same time too. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to examples of not limiting yourself. But most chances are if I'm talking to somebody, we're having sex. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, yeah.
Okay, I got a question.
I feel you on that.
Polyamory, okay, because I've been in an open relationship similar to polyamory, but not. What is like the ultimate goal? You know what I mean? Is it just open, free? Like, is that the long-term relationship? Is there a goal with polyamory? You know what I mean?
No. The only goal I feel like you should have is being as genuine and because for me it's all about connection. I can't help the fact that I connect to people and they connect to me sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to limit myself, nor am I going to say that I need 5 relationships either. I don't see, that's what I mean. Like, there's no goal other than to be my authentic self. So because I don't want to fight with somebody and him or her going through my phone like, oh, you cheater, you're talking to 3 people. You told them good night.
Too much? How many
That's not even a good question because it depends on you. Like, for instance, I might have a max of like 4. I'm not saying I do, but maybe that's like my cutoff. Well, that's my personal thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't think you should limit yourself.
No. I think you should.
If I had limited resources, do you know how many concubines and wives I would have?
I hear you, Ruby doll. I hear you. It's like you if you find somebody you connect with, why cheat yourself of having a connection? I definitely hear you on that one.
I'm gonna tell y'all a secret about me, okay? I would love one person that I could share my life experience with, finances, business, and we would fuck multiple people, but we would be on one accord. Like, we would do it together. You know what I'm saying? But we would respect each other in that way. And then if we did have, let's say we had a girlfriend, I wouldn't be like, okay, well, I'm the wife and you're the, you know what I'm saying? I don't think that's right either. I think that's disrespectful. If you're somebody's wife or you guys have this bond, keep that between y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't need to be over elaborated if we're all supposed to enjoy this experience. You feel me? Because do you understand what I'm saying? So
no, Ruby doll, you good. You perfect. Like,
but you had also made this point because you said that everybody needed to be equal in that. So that's where I would touch on that point that you made that I disagreed with. So like in the moment, yes, there's certain etiquette that you should have, but like at the same time, I don't expect somebody to treat me the same way that he treats somebody that he's known for like 15 years.
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like if you have that strong connection, then I'm expecting, like, you know what I mean, there to be certain. I'm expecting a certain like level of commitment, right? Because we've been together for a certain time, we've talked about certain things, we've established how we're gonna move, right? So if I'm seeing that's not happening, then of course people are gonna feel away because we got feelings. You know what I'm saying? And I think for me, at my age now, if I ever was single again, I think for me, like, somebody would have to feed my inner man. You know what I mean? Like, they would have to feed who I am on the inside the most.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, attraction, I could be attracted to a lot of different people, but if you're not feeding my inner man, then it's like, you know what I mean? If we can't talk about books, if we can't talk about, like, where we want to travel, if we can't talk about, like, just, spirituality and what it means and we can't talk about, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, colonization and just a lot of different topics, you know what I mean? Political topics, social topics. If we can't really bond on that level, then I'm not going to be interested. Like, I'm just not, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to hold interest. In fact, it's gonna turn me off completely. Like, because I'm like, man, I'm like,
Chill.
You were just talking about that yesterday in this room because you said that, what is it, sexual sapien?
Sexual. I was sapio. I think I said that too on the, yeah. And you're right. I am attracted to the mind over because for me, it's like the physical attributes of somebody, they had nothing to do with that to a point. You know what I'm saying? Like you were either born hella fine or. Yeah, you're born into it. You have no. So for me to just be like jocking somebody just for something that had nothing to do with it, that's kind of crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? But if I really am attracted to your vibe, your energy, and damn, you happen to be good looking too. Okay, you know what I'm saying? That's more like it. But mental stimulation is so sexy to me. Because that's how I get, like I have never told this to anybody. I have orgasms in my mind.
Okay.
Lots of people do. They just don't talk about it enough.
The biggest sex organ is our
brain.
Yeah, because that's where all the attraction is up here.
Mm-hmm.
And then the body follows.
If someone teaches me some shit, waterworks.
Water be flowing down through.
Sorry, guys, that's so
No, but no, that actually does like make like a lot of sense. I mean, you ain't gotta be like the smartest person, but be at least like intelligent enough, right, to actually learn how to like talk. And I'm not just saying just the opposite gender, but learn how to talk to like anyone, even if you don't really understand it. No, it's not like don't be afraid to ask questions. You know, because like you will gain the knowledge and understanding the more you start asking questions. That's how you get it. Just ask questions, be open about it, and then you'll learn. And then you'll be able to really share the experience like together, to be fun and adventurous, like, you know, travel out, do whatever that takes. I mean, look, coming here was an adventure.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still fun.
Oh, I have a question for y'all. Is travel sex different from home sex? And why?
Travel.
That's a good ass question, yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, it is different because I mean, like, when you're traveling to a different place and it's like you're already kind of like in the mood because like you and your spouse is sharing, you know, a new experience together. Even if you travel to the same place again, you're still sharing experiences.
Right.
So like, you know, when it's on and popping or whatever, right? You know, and on the regular, we don't know nothing in here, right? But I'm just saying, but when it's on and, you know, when it's
Fool if you didn't.
Yeah.
I would hope you don't get lucky out of here.
But you know, like when it's on and popping, right? It's like it creates something like the pheromones, endorphins, like it just all kicks in like in high gear. Oh, especially like if you go into like Cabo San Lucas, right? And then like, you know, you're in a nice suite, you just had the buffet meal too and the desserts on the side. Like, come on now, like if you don't have the energy, I don't know what's wrong with you. You must be an angry person.
And you know what? I'm gonna say something because his wife got it going on. I was checking on her body like, okay, M3, okay. You know what I'm saying? She got body. She's modest, but he getting it in. Okay? So get it, girl. I'm telling you. We should big people each other up. Women are sexy. Men are sexy. Tell them, you know?
Hey,
that brings a good question up because I think, you know, on a regular time for people to like accept compliments and whatnot, like how well does everyone sit in their shine? You know what I mean? How well do you sit in your essence?
You're like,
you
thank
know?
you.
Yeah.
But that's
You
the
know,
part.
people
You
get shy.
can dress it up, but God gave it to you.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, there's the outside. We really didn't have nothing to do with it. To put clothes on. That's
Just
it.
maintain it,
Yeah.
if anything.
Put the makeup and the clothes. That's all.
So I guess my question is for the viewers too. Yeah, do you sit well in your own space internally, you know, with your relationship, you know what I mean? I like that question.
I do too.
Isn't
That's something to
beautiful
ponder
inside
on.
and out too?
Yeah.
They're
So I think if
beautiful.
you're kind to yourself,
Mhm.
your voice shows up, your words show up, and then they kind of just express themselves without your, you know what I mean? It's just it's something that's just given, and so
Effortless.
yeah, are you kind to yourself? Are you kind to your
People
heart?
know within minutes whether you like yourself
Yeah.
from the words that come out of your mouth.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because your heart, it speaks out, you know,
Yeah.
what is the positive, what is the
Yeah.
negative,
You
anything.
can hear the.
You can hear it
You can hear
in
it.
someone if they're like really
I agree. The
Salted-
tone,
yeah.
the tone
wounds.
takes place. Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. Yeah.
I have a question for you, M3. Would your perception change of your
Oh,
wife if you found out?
Hold on, Ruby
that
Doll.
Okay.
Ruby Doll, real quick. Can I just say something before you ask? Because I don't want to shift the conversation. I just want to say, like, I think early on for me, in my relationship, like, because I've been in it over a decade, I think I'm looking for my partner to kind of like fit all these crazy expectations. Right? I had all these expectations. She's supposed to cook like my grandmother. She's supposed to do this. She's supposed to not, yell at me and speak back. And I'm supposed to come home and do this. And then my name's supposed to be on all the bills. And like, just I had all these expectations, and it was like, nah, like she's her own person. Like she has a different experience than you. Like I know, like yeah, you love your grandma, and you want her to kind of be a little hood like your mom, but she her own person. So she's gonna be her own person. So I had to like, and like it was frustrating because I'm like, man, this is not the type of woman that I'm expecting. Like I'm expecting her to do this and do that. And so when she wouldn't do stuff, I would get so angry because I'm used to seeing certain women in my life do certain things a certain way. So I'm putting all expectations on her, and then she was putting expectations on me. She was wanting me to be like her father because her father's a big figure in her life. So she wanted to be like her father or her older brothers, and I'm like, I'm not them. Like number one, I don't even have a big family like that. Like most of the times when I ate dinner, I ate it by myself. Like you used to sit at the table with people. Like I can just eat. I can get my food, sit at my table, eat, and watch my television and chill out. But you wanna sit and talk during dinner. I'm like, I don't want to sit and talk. Can I eat? You know what I'm saying? So like we had two different experiences, and we had to learn how to live together. And that shit was hard. I'm telling you.
You gotta make your own definition because we learn things. We have our, set of parents or set of family members in our household, but we're two families coming together when you're married, you see? And you have to define it for yourself. And that's something, even when we talk about dating relationships, like if we were talking about that earlier, like dating relationships, how the world sees you and your significant other versus how you see each other. If you let everything outside come in, especially if you're mixed race couples, it's not gonna work out because everybody has their opinion of what they see versus what's going on behind closed doors. If you have that of yourself, whatever it is, this is how we define ourselves, and you're able to have that, hold on to it, cherish it, is your little part of the globe, like that's what matters. Like you're saying, it took you some years or some time to figure that out. Like, oh, because this is what I saw love was. It was me with my dinner and I had my TV time and they didn't disturb me. Whereas, with your significant other, it was chilling and around the table and communicating, conversing. And you guys had to figure out what that balance was gonna be when it was just you and your significant other. It's the same for every couple has to do that. We have to figure, and sometimes it takes us 9, 10, 15 years to figure it out, but you got a whole lifetime. If you can be patient with each other, you'll learn it. You have to, that friendship has to be there, that connection, that patience, that ability to figure out like, oh, my expectation is not their expectation. How do we come together? What does it look like for us? That's relationship right there. The communication part that Ms. Rue was talking about, Yeah.
Good stuff. I love it. Any other questions, M3, with your Mr. Best with your mysterious eyes?
Yeah.
Here we go.
You got that Charlie's Angels vibe.
No. The question, the question was on you. You was about to ask. You was about to ask
Yeah, you
Mrs.
might ask me
M3
a
or Mr. M3 a question.
Oh, yes. Mr. M3, would your perception of your wife change if you found out she slept with 50 people?
Oh, you asked me about a body count. Yes, it will change.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. You know,
Okay.
she's gonna be for the streets though. But I might be number like 51. But I can't like the thing is for me like to be in a committed relationship, like and I know this is gonna be like taboo because it's like men will say they rather for their woman to be honest with them, so they need to know and understand like, okay, is this woman a promiscuous woman or she's like a, I don't know, woman of God or something like that, whatever they be saying. But then when you get the numbers that you don't like, then it's like, okay, are you going to stick by her? You know, are you going to really pursue the relationship and marry this person, or are you going to cut out? Most of us, like, we're just like, all right, this might not work. And the only reason why it might not work because, like, in sexual experience, like, the person already experienced, like, you know, to the multitude. So your sex game may not even be pleasurable enough, like, for her. The intimacy may be a little bit critical. That's what like a lot of us guys like really think when it comes to women that has like a high body count. You know what I mean?
And I think that we have to challenge that because
I get it.
It's for instance, one of my favorite lovers is not even like the most biggest dick or anything like that. It was just the attention that he gave to me in that moment. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like it wasn't anything and believe me, it wasn't even as wild as or nothing like that. It was actually pretty vanilla.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's because the way that he was like looking right up in here. And then we was like feeling each other and really
The caresses.
Exactly.
You gotta have those.
So that's what I'm seeing. And that's from a person with a high ass body count. You know what I'm saying? Like I believe in like I'm a kinkster.
Mm-hmm.
I love certain things that people hush about. But that's just me. But I also pardon?
What's the body count?
It's between 11 and 15.
Okay, that's not that high. All right, thanks.
It's not that low. People
I mean that body count shit to me don't matter though, man. Like that body count shit don't matter. Like all we could yeah.
But that's what
like all we could worry about is what we can do like right now. Like we together now. Like I can't worry about what happened to you a year before or whatever else. Like that don't matter. Like we connected now.
It's irrelevant, honestly. And like I said, I just feel that way. But that was a good question. Do you have any more questions, Chloe?
She's like, bro, I'm ready to go to sleep.
No.
Would you guys join a masturbate-a-thon for $20,000? Nope. I don't know why I said damn, but
She said she had the $25,000 today. Who's signing up now?
So like you talking about like more like kind of like orgy type of style?
No, like an online situation where everyone's masturbating. It's a masturbate-a-thon, like you know how they have marathons.
Mm-hmm.
So you're raising money. So every orgasm you get, like if someone pledges for you, like if you have 50 orgasms, I'll give you $50.
Oh, but you're doing that for charity somehow.
I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm just talking about the situation. Would you guys be feeling comfortable masturbating online for a cause?
No, I mean, well, like.
And is it because you're married?
No, it's just for me. It's just not something that I would want to do in public. First of all, and then who is the charity that's gonna do it?
Right. I'm just talking about like money for me, but
the charity behind that concept is.
I'm trying to ask them questions that they never even been asked before. I'm running out of shit because I'm tired.
Too much energy. Too much energy for that, right? You know, especially for charity. I'm sorry. I'm just. That's too much.
Well, legit, I do want to host the masturbate-a-thon because I think it has multiple benefits of it.
No, I'm not going to knock that. Okay, look, there are some, right? That actually they get their energy source after the post-nut clarity. I'll just put it like that, right? We ain't trying to have those sex bots come up in their YouTube, but no, post-nut clarity, like people get shit done like afterwards, though. Actually, I feel like that shit actually saved lives because you know what? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, these dudes they get horny. And Tupac also said, like, when bitches get horny, like, niggas die. So, like, I actually, like, take that word to heart as well, too, though. But, I'll explain that in a minute.
Don't cheat.
The thing is that, like, without it, like, you're going to be doing some stupid stuff. You know what I mean?
Thinking with the wrong head.
Exactly. Think with this head, not with down below.
I mean, that's great advice. You know what I mean? And like, again, this is a disclaimer. Even though they're married, my sister's married, and I'm talking all this shit on here, we're not experts. And so you just need to find out what's good for you. Okay? That's the main point in this whole thing. Okay? And so I think this has been actually a really good podcast, don't you guys?
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I think this has been amazing. And if you want part 2 of this, then holla at the guys at Knowledge and Relationships and let them know that you want us to come back. But thank you guys so much.
Yeah. Well, closing comments, I'll just say like this, like, again, this was a wonderful experience. I'm glad that you ladies had. Well, first of all, thank you for sticking around, like, passing it beyond midnight. That's how I be like these live streams. But yeah, like, dude, like, you guys helped, like, gave us like a new experience for like our checklist. You know what I mean? Making like a long ass drive, which was fun, right? Like going to Portland. I always wanted to kind of go to Portland, Oregon, but I never really had a reason to travel out there. So like you guys gave us those reasons to actually like be here.
Thank you.
And meeting like the people like in your church, like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, man, like, like I said, Pastor, man, like, he got some skills, man. Yeah. So, and, you guys have definitely been so loving for the matter of fact, can I put like a plug on the restaurant as well, too? So like, Ruby goes to like a black church, you know what I mean? But, with the church that she goes to, okay? Like, I know, like, we've been, other churches before, but it's so rare, right, that people, right, they put their contribution in together to actually create something that actually employs, like black and brown people,
yes.
The environment for the community. They literally got a restaurant attached to the church.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
And a daycare.
And
my sister's over there holding it down.
And a professional studio in the church. So I'm like, wow, like what more can you really ask for? So it's like, okay, like me seeing that, I gotta like let people know, like, look, black people could do amazing things too. People in color could do so many things when we all come together and actually serve one common purpose, though. I'm so sick and tired of all these bums out there, right? Talking about like, whoa, these people right here are not like white people. They don't do this, they don't do that. They all coons and stuff like that. No, bro, you's the biggest coon. If you sit behind a computer desk and you're not even doing shit with your life, but you're wasting time bickering, arguing, doing foul shit when you could actually contribute into something. You could actually contribute to the cause and actually make black community great again, color people great again, but y'all just sit around just complaining about all this stuff, and you're not doing it. Y'all complain about the justice system, y'all complain about, how this is getting you down, how that's getting down, but at the same time, what are you doing to actually contribute to the cause to help bring these people up together? So by me seeing that was inspiration for me that, look, man, we can do great things as long as we actually come together and we unify like as we were supposed to. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying as a Christian type of movement, but just people in general. When we unify doing something like this, especially the podcast, like we're doing great things.
I love this shit.
So look, if you're around with a bunch of negative people, push these motherfuckers. Oh, okay, let's see. I was gonna say something else or whatever, right? But I'm not insinuating any violence, but push them to the side and be like, look, get off my level, all right, and let me do my thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all.
And they're not fly by night either. They're established, right? Moonshine.
Oh, definitely over
North-
30 years.
North Portland,
Right.
around for over 30 years.
Definitely. Soul food
Okay,
restaurant.
like that.
And what is that?
No, I was reading a comment. He says, "Can I join your fivesome?"
Oh. Well, it depends. Are you smart? Can you turn us on? Can you look a pussy? I don't know. There's questions we need to ask. You can't just throw that out there.
Can you hit the bell, the notification bell to all? Can you hit the subscriber
Can
button?
you subscribe to this? Can you cash app a bitch? I don't know.
Yeah, I did. Hey, with the long drive, I do need some more money though. You feel me? Like,
Oh, I have one more question. Do you consider it gay, or do you consider it inappropriate for a guy to like his butt licked?
Appropriate?
Or do you think do you think it's suspect, for a guy to have his butt licked, or can that be disengaged and disassociated with the whole gay factor or
nah,
homophobia?
no, and you know, look, it's the guy's prerogative. Like if a guy like getting his ass licked or whatever, look, man, like shouts to like one of the greatest gurus like AMS or whatever, because back then he was preaching about that or whatever. Look, some guys like to get their dick sucked. I'm sorry, their Johnson sucked. Some guys like to get the booty hole ate or whatever, like groceries. Or someone just like to
Just a gouge.
Yeah. So I don't judge nobody for all that. Yeah. It's just like whatever. Yeah.
Between the balls and the dick and the butt.
So you're asking from male perspective if they think it's like suspect?
Well, the reason why I say it's a pet peeve of mine when somebody associates that with gayish behavior. That's, I guess, the gripe that I'm making with my horribly constructed question. That's what I meant. Why do people associate butt play with, what I'm saying, thing? I think it's tied to homophobia, and it's actually more revealing than we think.
So I guess we're asking the male audience, like, are you in tune with your butt?
Are you? Because there's a reason why your prostate is there. There's a reason why this come hither works.
There's a reason why that's your G-spot, yeah. There's a
So
reason why it's
enjoy
up there,
it. Don't let society tell you that it's gay, baby. Let them down there.
Now this ain't me, but I know some guys like to get probed.
Yes, pegged. Yeah. I think it's a beautiful experience. And I think that strong women particularly, we have a service where I have a friend in Virginia who, it was the first threesome that I had with two guys. It was him and one of his homies. And it was like one of the most beautiful experiences I've ever had. And I never thought I would be attracted to having sex with two guys at once. And they treated me with the ultimate care. They made me feel like a little dainty flower, you know what I'm saying? But I think my point in that was he liked, he didn't want to fuck, right. They didn't want to touch each other like that, but my homie asked me to peg him. He wanted me to peg him. So I did, I feel like it's a good, I agreed to it, I should say. We hadn't gotten around to it, to be honest with you, because I didn't have the strap on. But if we had the equipment, we would have that night. I still want to peg you if you're, I'm sorry.
You could have just find a stick outside, like.
Well, if you're watching this, homie, just keep that booty hole clean, baby, and we'll see what's up. Okay.
I guess that is a good question. I think males should tune into their.
She's still laughing.
Yeah, I think the homophobia thing should be separated from like anal play or whatever. I think it's and I think if men are like iffy on asking a woman, I think there's some women, like for myself, I think it's sexy if you're in your manhood and it doesn't change, like your manhood and you're cool with it, like that's sexy as fuck. If you can stay in your manhood, but you like, you know what I mean? You like things that are taboo, you know?
It feels good.
Yeah. Especially if you're just in your masculine, you're like, because like one of the sexiest, okay, if I can be blunt, like one of the sexiest things I've, like with my husband, right? I'd asked him before, would you let a guy suck your dick? He's like, yeah, but I would suck his. I thought that was just beautiful. Like, that don't bump him, that don't move him. He's so masculine. Like, yeah, you can suck it, but you know, I think, you know, you shouldn't be shy about it. I think you should be free with your sexual desires.
You like
Especially
what you
for
like,
men.
baby.
Because that gland is there for a reason, you know.
Right.
Oh my God.
What else is there? Saying anything else in there? Anything crazy?
I mean, shout outs to Timmy, shout outs to Nightmare, shout outs to Frosty Como. I mean, like, see what the heck is a 5-song, and then Nightmare says, well put Frosty, and have a 6-song, and then out Ghost, right? Because there's a guy named Ghost, have a 7-song. Okay.
Okay.
And then
It's called an orgy at some point, y'all. It's not even sum it up. Sum it up.
These are the young people coming out, right? You know, the teenagers. But,
okay.
But let's see. He says, okay, never heard of a 5-song. Okay, that sounds so sus. Okay, blah, blah, blah. But Mr. It's, oh, no, it's on 8-song. Okay, y'all trolling that, right? But anyway, I appreciate you guys for commenting. Mr. Intellectual SoapBox had to go. He says bedtime, good night, family. I know it is getting late. But look, we're supposed to be close out anyway, so you little kids that's out there talking right now, y'all should be in bed right now. Y'all know y'all
I hope you
should
don't have kids. Your ass to sleep. What's wrong with you? Where's your dad at?
Oh,
Maybe your daddy's not okay? I'm going to spank him on your behalf.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a financial dom too, so if anyone wants to get spanked for some money, let me know. I'm just kidding.
So thank you everybody for tuning in to Knowledge and Relationships. I'm gonna go back there and I'm gonna help close out. Shout out to Mr. Best again, like you know, Mr. Best in the world, 84. He definitely held it down. You know, without him and his moderation skills, we wouldn't even have these chats like highlighted. So definitely, man, give big shout outs, man. And honestly, like I'm gonna go. Okay, he says, okay, I read that right. I gotta give Mr. Best in the world a reward, right? Because Mr. Best actually saved our live stream, right? Let me tell you this, right? And then I'm gonna close out for real. It was one time that I was asleep, and one of our co-hosts, like in our family, like EazilyRigged, they had a show, and the show was going good. They started super late. It was like 11 o'clock at night. And of course I had to work like, you know, the next day. But I tried to stay up, but I actually fell asleep. And by the time I woke up, it was like 1 in the morning, 1:30 in the morning. And I noticed like the stream, like, you know, I couldn't find the replay, but I kind of caught a little bit off of Rumble. You know, feel free to follow us on Rumble too. Knowledge Relationships on Rumble, you know. If you want to get the raw stuff, just in case if YouTube ever shuts down, we also have Rumble as a backup. Excuse me. So, you know, we do have like a lot of trolls or whatever, and you know, a lot of them were showing like, you know, the pornography. You know what I mean? And when that happens, that you really want to like, you know, end the live stream as soon as possible because it gets to YouTube, and then your whole channel just gets deleted. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Haters.
You know what I mean? Like, and it wasn't just one. Like, it was 3 of them at first, right? It was just popping in, pop out, and then I guess at the last one, right? You know, they finally infiltrated in, and it was 2 of them that was showing stuff, right? And I'm like, God damn, y'all always be ruining the party though. So that's why I was like, all right, if y'all try to come up, you gotta have a personal invitation for this type of stuff because. You know, I'm not trying to like, you know, we worked so hard to really build our platform up. And I know you guys do the same thing as well too. So if anything, you know, be careful, man, who you invite, especially random people, because they will try to ruin the stream. Yeah. A lot of people will hate. Yeah. But anyways, Mr. Best saved the day because the reason why I'm saying this because while I was asleep, not only he ended the live stream, him and B-Eazy, we also deleted the footage as well too, so it doesn't get to YouTube. Perfect. And if I woke up for a child to live, then I'm gonna be like, what the fuck happened? Yeah. So again,
Teamwork.
You know, teamwork is the dream work, and Mr. Best of the World definitely serves like a medal for his work. So
I appreciate you.
Mm-hmm.
We all do.
And then it says, thank you for having a nice son with us. You know what? Okay, Nightmare, you know, shout out to you, right? And then thank you, Frost. I mean, shout out to you, Frosty. You reached to 90 subscribers. Keep going. You're almost to 100, you know.
Frosty, get it.
Yeah. That's my proter. Okay. All right. Rhymes for a brother. Anyways, thank you everybody for tuning into Knowledge and Relationships. And we are definitely out. Let me go ahead and I'm gonna play the outro. But also too, I do have to play one little thing. Salutes to Lady Phoenix again. Thank you for the donation. So let me go ahead and I'm gonna play this.
Appreciate the donation. I can't thank you enough.
I'm rich, bitch!
All right, everybody, we are definitely out.
That is so cool, guys. Good job.
Knowledge and relationships.